Oh, there we go. What is good, people? It is the KOA podcast. It is I, Sasuke the Savage. It is he, everything animated. What is good with you folks tonight?
Hello, everybody. Welcome on in to the KOA podcast, King of Anime, if you're not too familiar. What do we do here, Sasuke? We do a lot of killing and passing. We talk about seasonal anime, sometimes old anime in our Nakama Clubs segment, and just anything and everything. We don't discriminate. We talk about everything, including Holo's cup size.
I don't think I was there for that podcast, actually.
I think it was me and C. We were just talking about it. He was talking about Vladilena, and I was like, man, that's all you talk about. Holo, on the other hand, she's a wise wolf.
It's true.
Boingy.
Yeah. And according to that anime studio, she has a little bit of ass. Because they were definitely pinned on that. What is it, Trayvon, in the chat?
Hello.
So, if you guys are not familiar with the format of the podcast, of course, we watch anime. We choose some spring anime, or of course, because it's spring, but seasonal anime, of course, that we watch. And usually by the third episode is when we decide if we're going to kill or pass every third of the episode, or third of the series, basically. So by episode 3, you make a decision, kill or pass. Episode 6, 9, 12, and so forth. So today some shows are up for kills and passing. That being Rock is a Lady's Modesty and Lazarus. Ranger Reject and Apocalypse Hotel are on their second episode, so they'll be up next week. But that is basically the format. Since it's just me and EA, a kill or pass has to be determined, or really just a kill has to be determined by unanimous decision. So if we both decide we're going to kill the show is off. We're done talking about it. Will we pick up another show? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But that's basically the format of the podcast. And yeah. Trayvon said this season is great. I have not been watching anything other than what we're covering on the podcast. It is some things that I wanted to cover that I haven't. I've been hearing a lot of people talk about that one show, Hero X. A lot of people have been liking that. Actually I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I want to see how that Takamine anime is, just because I've read the manga for it. There was that one show that we were deciding what was going to be the last show that we're going to pick. Your Forma. I have not checked out that show yet at all. I want to see if that's any good. And then there's that new Gundam series. Also thinking about checking that out. As a female MC, so hey.
Yeah, you got to do it. Yeah, the only thing I watched that was new this season was the Devil May Cry anime, and it started off really good, but then it fell off a fucking cliff and exploded into a million pieces at the end.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, because they released the whole series. It was just 8 episodes on Netflix. But, oh my God, Dante. I feel like this is coming from a guy that never really played the Devil May Cry games, but just based off what I was seeing, they nerfed the hell out of them. There was this one girl in there who was super annoying. Every other word out of her mouth was like fuck and shit, and she was like this edgy kind of like supposed to be badass or whatever, with the heterochromia eyes and whatever. But I don't know, it just for a show that's supposed to be focused around Dante, I felt like he was barely in it. And then the ending, I won't spoil anything, but I'll just say that was bad, really bad.
Yeah, I haven't gotten into the Devil May Cry series at all. I have played a little bit of Bayonetta though. That series
Great
just
stuff.
seems very edgy. That seems to be his brand. Not that that's necessarily a
Mm.
bad thing or anything. It's just a series that you look at it and it's there to look cool. Big swords, cool costumes,
Mm-hmm.
cruel dialogue. You know what you're getting when you get into that series. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Other than that, I liked the intro because it's Limp Bizkit, and the whole theme song was really great. It's a bunch of new metal that plays throughout, so I'm like, okay, yeah, I like at least the soundtrack,
Mhm.
but everything else was just ugh, could have been way better.
Well, let's try to uplift, you know, the chat, myself, yourself. I think is something I need, EA, that you can provide me with.
I got something here in my pocket. It's a little something that'll never give you the blues.
Now let's get ready for the KOA.
It's miracle!
That's
All right.
right. It's the news, and it's always a miracle when I can pull it out of my pocket.
Well, I'm about to go over a miracle. So, To Your Eternity manga is to end in this next volume.
Oh my god,
I,
that thing's still going.
yes, it is. So, if you thought the anime, if you were wondering, like, man, where do they go from here? From the anime's perspective, just imagine it from the manga's perspective, because it's going way
Jeez.
further than where the anime ended.
How many chapters?
I'm not sure how many chapters, but this series has been going on for almost 9 years. It published 2016. So, and I don't know like what if it's weekly or monthly. So I have no idea how many chapters it's released, but it's been going on for a minute.
Hmm.
Going on for a minute.
Well, R.I.P. To Your Eternity. Speaking of which,
No,
you
just
know
it
that
revived
thing.
itself.
Oh, right, just like it did last season. What I was gonna say is, you know, the third season's come out in the fall,
Yeah.
and we never killed it. FYI.
Well, we got some stuff to do in fall season, don't we?
Yes, we do. Because we watched the whole second season and saw the ending and everything. But I agree, we need to we need to put it down. I think.
Yeah, I'm looking at the fall season, and we got One Punch Man, Spy Family season 3. Damn, what's with all these season 3s?
One Punch Man comes out in the fall.
That's what according to
Wow. I remember Spy Family getting announced a long time ago for the fall, which I'm happy for.
this. Yeah.
We're gonna have a busy fall.
I mean, just with those two, man, oh god, we still gotta watch 3 episodes of it though. I mean, who knows? It might give. Let's stop getting. It's not getting better. It's not getting better. Yeah, it is a shell of what it once was, or what we loved about it. But
I wonder if it'll have the same intro. Big blood,
if it does,
big blood.
that'll be like one of the biggest highlights. I mean,
Yeah.
it did it for an entire what 40 something episodes. So I
The
wouldn't be
first
surprised.
season and the second season.
Yeah, that's 40 something episodes.
It's a good opening.
Yeah. We get a Pantheon stock in season 2 in the summer season.
Really?
Yeah, it's
I didn't know
supposed to be
that.
this year. Yeah, I didn't know it was next season, but I know it was supposed
That's
to be this
cool.
year.
Back in time for Dan to Dan as well.
Yeah, yeah, we're gonna have some stuff to watch. But yeah. Other than that, for any Nintendo guys out there, just to add insult to injury, a Japanese man was sentenced to 2 years in prison and a $4,000 fine for illegally modding secondhand Switch units
Don't fuck with Nintendo.
Yeah.
They come in for their money, and they don't care how much you pay.
It doesn't matter what. Like, mind you, the Switch 2 is coming out. For them
Right.
to still care about modded Switches is kind of insane to me.
And the Switch is like the second highest rated like selling console that Nintendo's ever had behind the DS. It's insane.
Yeah. I mean, I get it because they still got to get their money from it. They're still getting money from it. It's not like it's so old of a console like a PlayStation 1 or even a 2. I understand that, but I mean, Jesus Christ.
2 years?
Yeah.
What are you in here for? I put a fucking trigger on a Switch.
Yeah, they don't even say how he modded it exactly, so I don't know what
They don't want you to get ideas.
Yeah, oh.
They don't want you to say, oh my God, that makes it so much better. Let's all do that.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel sorry for that guy. But in brighter news for the Nintendo Switch, pre-orders open April 24th following the delay of the tariff impacts. Apparently it's supposed to be same price as it was announced. I think it was like $459 if you get it with no. It was like $459 if you just get it separately, and it's like $499 if you wanted to get it with like Mario Kart, Donkey Kong, and whatever else game they had.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what it was. $500 if you include a game. Yep.
Such a steal.
Boy, oh boy. It's not like we used to get games that came with it for fucking free with the Wii.
Yeah. And it's so crazy too, because Wii Sports was just, you could play that game. You could have that game and one other game on Wii and be really satisfied, because Wii Sports just had that much playability on it.
It was so fun. It brings back such nostalgia whenever you turn it on and you just hear the ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. So great.
What was your favorite game on Wii Sports?
I loved pretty much all of them. Well, except for the golf one. I didn't care for that. Tennis was fun. Batting was cool just because you just felt like you were really hitting them out of the park, and you just like whatever. But boxing has to be my favorite because I'd always own when it came to boxing.
Okay. That was going to be the second question, because what you might like might not be what you're the best at. So I was going to ask you, what were you the best at?
Oh yeah, I was the best at the boxing one. No one could beat me. My younger brother was like, I hate this. And then when my son came of age, he's like, how do you do that? And I'm like, you just got to know how to angle it. It's not even how hard you hit. It's just an angle of which you like do the wrist. Mm-hmm. I found that out early.
Yeah. I think I was the best at baseball. I got to think of all the games they had. I remember the basketball game. That was kind of janky, so I wasn't really all that great at that. The tennis one was pretty cool. I liked boxing, but I definitely was not the best. Bowling, I think I was pretty good at.
Ooh, I forgot about bowling. That was fun too. Mm-hmm. I love it whenever you would mess up and you'd throw the ball behind you and the guys would go, whoa! I forgot. Yeah, they had everything good on that freaking game. Like again, golf was probably my least favorite, but
they had like fencing on there too.
Yeah. Yeah, they had like the sword stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Trayvon said my least favorite was golf. I think that was pretty much everybody's least favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just so boring.
Yeah. In other news, the Rising of the Shield Hero, Shield Daddy Season 4 promo vid is out. Are you excited, EA? Oh, well.
Oh yeah, totally. I can't believe it's still going on. We killed it in season 2 with CG Turtle shit. I mean, They made another season, and now there's a fourth one coming. What else are you going to tell me? He's still angry and he's still getting betrayed?
Probably. Yeah.
And is Melty, or whatever her name is, still twiddling her mustache going, I will get you, my pretty.
Let me look at her Wikipedia to see what's going on with her.
She's like, I've been dead for like a few seasons. The turtle squished me.
Multi Melromac, anime status.
Shows as dead.
Doesn't show me her status.
She's probably alive then. If she's dead, you would have known.
Let me type that in. Death. No, I guess she isn't dead. Yeah, because if she would have died, there would have definitely been a video.
Yeah, but instead we just get her going, he betrayed me. Help me. Yeah, oh God, I hated her character. And then she got demoted to just villain of the week. I'm going to poison these food and give them all diarrhea.
You know what's funny, Trayvon? Someone asked me that same question in my server. They said, which is more surprising, that Shield Hero got 4 seasons or that Rent a Girlfriend got 4 seasons? What's your answer to that, EA?
I understand why Shield Hero got 4 seasons, but Rent a Girlfriend getting 4 seasons is asinine. That is the truth. Wow.
See,
and that's coming out in the summer too.
I'm of the opposite mindset. I think it's more surprising that Shield Hero got 4 seasons, just because I expect people to like mediocre or bad romances. It happens so often.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
I feel like fantasy's huge too.
I think isekais are. Which, I mean, that isn't an isekai. But even then, how many isekais can we name that have gone this long? Like, even Konosuba hasn't gone that long yet. ReZero hasn't gone on that long yet. ReZero's on season 3 right now.
Yeah. Give us some time, I suppose. But yeah, it is crazy. I guess I'm just more of Rent a Girlfriend just because it's Rent a Girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably agree that is worse just from what I know about both series, but I don't ever expect you to need quality for a romance series to go on. All you really need is good character designs and to have content to milk it. That's all you need for a romance series, and it can go on indefinitely. Because people would.
Does she like me? Does she like me? I think I like her.
But I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. 300 chapters later.
You spoiled the whole plot for Rent a Girlfriend. Shame on you.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. It had to be said.
Well, last bit of news, and this one hurts me the most. I took AoE damage, poison damage, burn damage, freeze damage, shocked,
what?
stunned, battered, slash damage, pierce damage, everything. Netflix English live action series called Bet, not BET, Bet.
Oh, I thought it was like I thought it was an exclusive BET thing. I'm like, oh, they're all going to be black characters. What is this?
Now, Suzui is black in the live action for whatever reason, but
okay.
And then Itsuki is a guy. Okay, Netflix's English live action series Bet, based on Kakaguri's manga, reveals May 15th debut and trailer. So this atrocity will be thrust upon us in about 2 weeks of time. About 3 weeks.
Didn't they already make a live action, but in Japan?
Yeah, they have a Japanese one, but this is Netflix English, just like how they did Death Note. Death Note had his own live action
Oh,
Japanese, and
oh,
now,
and like One Piece.
yeah,
Wow. So now we're getting an American live action one, not called Kakiguri, but bet.
I seen the trailer. I
To be
already,
honest.
I already didn't want it just because I don't think this. People may disagree with me because of the existence of the live action, the Japanese live action. But I firmly believe that Kakaguri is not one of those series where you do live action for. There's some series that are so zany and reliant upon the format of anime and manga, it being drawn. Kakaguri is one of those series. One of the best things about Kakaguri in the manga is its imagery. And you can't really, yeah, sure, you can do different things in live action to try to portray that or give you that feeling, but you're just not going to get that same feeling. And then it's a whole different experience when you see like a character like Yumeko who may like literally orgasm or something during the middle of a gamble, and then you see it with real life characters and some of the faces that they make. It just does not translate well. In my opinion,
Yeah.
I have seen a
That's
little
gonna be
bit.
weird.
Yeah, I have seen a little bit of the Japanese live action, so it was just one scene I seen, and they did that one scene well. But I think in general, it's just never going to capture that same feeling. So I'd rather that be left. This series be left alone. But we're here. I seen a trailer. Um, not gonna lie, it's ass. The actress who plays Yumeko looks like she's going to do a good job. I mean, obviously, I can't
Okay.
tell, but just the scenes I've seen, I look at her and I go, okay, you have the look. The scenes that I've seen you act in, it looked good. But then I look at some of everybody else, the character they have for Midari. They try to make her look intimidating, like a thug with all the piercings and stuff, and it just doesn't. I get nothing from it. Suzui's black. All right. Um, Kirari has no aura. I sense no Kirari in Kakaguri. When you see her, you're just like, oh shit. She just has that appearance, or she has that presence. When I look at Kirari in this live action, I just go, okay, that's just it. Just gave her blue lipstick and a white wig. Like, I don't feel anything at all.
Oh my god. I'm looking at this shit right now. Okay, yeah, this looks weird.
They gave Rika, instead of giving her her mask, they just gave her a fucking COVID mask.
Yeah, and like some of these ones with like eye patches and stuff, it's just like they don't even look intimidating. They just look like, yeah, I have an eye patch. What happened? I just
went to
bumped
Party
into
City.
a corner. It's Party City. But no, yeah, I can see what you mean. Now the main character looks like she's gonna do good, but my god, this is, yeah, I don't think this is gonna be good at all. This looks really bad.
Unfortunately for me, I'm gonna at least watch an episode just to talk about it to see if my feelings are confirmed.
Yeah, if you stream it, I'll watch it just so that I can hear you just talk trash about it. Yeah, she just has. She doesn't even have a white wig. She just has blue lipstick. It just looks like some college girl.
I think that is what they're trying to do with that series. I mean, I'll give them that. Actually, is it set in a college? Let me see.
I would assume it would have to be, only because some of the stuff they do, and it's like in high school. I think you'd be entering into some weird shit if you do that.
Yeah, I was gonna say if they did set it in a college, at least like that's a plus because of what all the weird stuff they do in Kakaguri. Like at least that's more. At least that makes things a lot more bearable, and also it makes things a little less ridiculous with all the high stakes and money being thrown around from these kids.
Mhm.
Like that's a good change. But yeah, I just don't expect that
They
to
just
be good.
they just need to make another season of Kakaguri. Is there enough to adapt to season 3?
Oh, absolutely.
That's what they should do.
They are the problem. I made a video about this. The problem is last season they kind of wrecked things irreparably. Unless they were to just like
with
retcon some things.
Mary, you talking about that anime?
No, not Twin, because Twin is just a prequel, so they can do whatever they want with that. With the how things ended season 2, it's just they really messed things up. That's all I can really say about it.
Dang.
Yeah, they introduced a anime original character, and she kind of fucked things up.
Oh, so they went off the grid. They didn't. They kind of did a full metal.
Yeah, but it wasn't to the point to where like they couldn't come back from it. They could have come back from it if it weren't for like that last arc that they did with it. It was like 2 episodes that they did, and it was like, yeah, why did you do this?
They could totally just like retcon it all. Beginning of season 3, the first scene you see is of that person getting murdered and just brutally stabbed, and it's just like she's dead or he's dead or whoever. They are dead. You don't have to worry about them ever coming back, and all that other stuff. It was just a dream.
I wish. I wish. Oh, but that is it for the news. So we're about to get into our first anime of tonight, which is none other than Shinichiro Watanabe's finest or latest, Lazarus. Episode 3.
Pew, pew, pew. Oh, Lazarus. So pretty much what happened this episode, the previous episode you asked about, I wish they would switch up the dynamics to see what differences there were. There was a little bit of that in this episode, because then we got Axel and Leland at the end, Axel and Doug in the beginning, Leland and Chris in the beginning being cleaning people. Pretty cool stuff. I was like, okay, we're seeing a little bit more of their personalities and their dynamics and stuff. So that was neat. Especially the Axel and Leland stuff at the end was pretty funny. I thought that was different.
Yeah, so we got to talk about the intro, because what's being shown through the intro is that every time there's someone different narrating the intro.
Yeah.
And this time it was Chris who was narrating the intro. And it's interesting because she was talking about why she used Hopna, and she talks about how she had a broken heart and used it for that, because everybody was talking about how amazing this drug was, and she was skeptical of it and ended up using it for that. So we have that in mind. They're doing like very, very slow storytelling when it comes to getting to know these characters, because with Chris, Leland and her were talking, and it basically is kind of what we got last week, where they were asking, what are you in it for? Why are you in Lazarus? And Leland asked Chris about that, and then she was being secretive about it and was like, oh, I was a secret agent. So yeah, like they're being very, very careful with what they reveal to each other of what they did. The only person who seemed to be very upfront about what they've done is Leland. With Elena, we can figure it. I mean, she's a hacker, so I mean, we know what she would have done to get here. But everybody else is pretty guarded when it comes to that reason of why they're here, thus far at least.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure at this point they're going to do that every episode. Kind of like it was a miracle, but instead it's going to be just stories of just how everyone got put onto Hopna. Because who was it before Chris? I feel like it was with someone else, but I can't remember who was talking. But after this,
it may have been Doug.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was definitely
I
a
remember
god.
it was the same visuals because I remember it was a dreidel and it was spinning and with flashes of like just pictures and stuff of that, and then it finally falls over, and the exact same thing happened this episode. So it's probably going to do it with everybody at when we're all said and done, and that's interesting. Just a way to kind of like introduce our characters. Like they're telling the story of them getting introduced to Hopna, but they're not telling the other characters. It's almost like a meta kind of, I'm telling the audience almost like a confessional or like a recorded statement. I don't know. I don't know what you would call it. It's just, it's like they're talking in front of somebody saying that.
I love when you tell stories through other means than just the actual story. Like, let's look at video games or something. There's a lot of good storytelling when it comes to just like a menu or something. Like, if a menu changes because you're at a certain point in a story where, I don't know, maybe you have like the menu be more darker, or even the music too. Like, that's a thing as well, where I don't know, like maybe you're in a desolate area that has just been destroyed and now it only plays a certain theme song when you're in that area.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Same. You ever played Detroit Become Human, and how the robot is in the beginning and she's like, I'm such and such, and as you're playing the game further and further, she becomes more deviant and she's like learning and like kind of becoming different. Just little things like that are so cool. And then at the end of the game, you can choose to whether free her or keep her, whatever. And when you free her, she's gone forever. And that's a nice little thing.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of that when you said that about video games in a menu screen.
Yeah. Sure. But we go back into the Elena thing because she's her and Hirsch are trying to figure out how in the fuck this whole thing happened with Dr. Skinner, with his face being recognized across thousands of other different bodies. And Elaine is like, yeah, it has to be the work of a hacker. There's only 3 hackers that I know who could do this, so be prepared to, hey, you got your diapers on, EA? Because when I say these names, you're going to be shitting yourself.
Oh god, I'm ready.
So she says only 3 people in the world could have done something like this. Popcorn Wizard.
Well, I mean, with a name like that, how can you not?
Dr. 909.
I mean, they're kind of giving themselves away with that kind of name where they live.
And lastly, Mad Screamer.
Ooh, that sounds like a freak. She a freak.
And then she does this thing where, now this is the definition of aura farming, because she says only 3 people could do this. And I'm thinking, oh, so it's 3 other people just like her? And it's just like, the last one is me. And I was like, okay, you didn't have to say that. You didn't have to say it that way, but okay, I guess.
3rd one, Mad Screamer, aka me. I'm like, damn, you're a freak then, Mad Screamer. You don't even. She barely even says anything. She's a shy one, which that tracks to Mad Screamer. Her screen name is the opposite of what she is in real life.
Yeah, even
just like online personas.
So. Yeah, there's 2 other amazing hackers beside her that could have done something of this degree. So we kind of shelved that, but our next clue to finding where Dr. Skinner is at is Hirsch sends Chris and Leland to check his residence, which has been swept clean by the police, but they still tell them to check it. And then as for Axel and Doug remembers that his professor used to work with Dr. Skinner. So he goes out to look for his professor. He goes to that university and looks for him.
Yeah. I like, with the Chris and Leland part, how they kind of like trick their ways into going into cleaning up the area and whatnot. Chris couldn't really do her seductive thing, but then you saw Leland kind of like wordsmithing in a way where he's just like, well, We do work on commission, so if you want to pay us, we're going to send you an invoice, and you can bill us, and we can just do it that way. So just kind of like using his slick talk just to kind of get through, and it worked.
Yeah, they all have their their strengths and weaknesses. Not all of it is apparent to us. We're still learning about these characters, but it's interesting to see like when they're put in situations like that where they have to act in the moment. What do they do exactly? And Leland has been pretty savvy thus far. I mean, that seems to be his thing, that he's able to just like talk to anybody, or I guess scam them in a way, because last episode he was just talking friendly with the same guys that had him at gunpoint, and this episode he's able to manipulate the police into letting him in the house when they were just like staunchly like, nah, nobody's getting in here. So he seems very silver tongue.
Oh, for sure. If he was a D&D character, he would be a bard, for sure. He just is good at just manipulating and just kind of like talking his way in and out of trouble. Almost kind of like Tyrion from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's perfect analogy for him.
I drink and I talk.
That's what I do. May not have strength to fight, but he has a brain, and that's what gets him out of everything.
So, I guess continuing on with Chris and Leland, they scour the house, and there's nothing here. All they really find is, first, nice place, and two, is what they already thought. The police checked everything, so there's not really much that they can offer in terms of the next clue to finding him. Except for one thing, which is Chris sitting down on the couch and her finding a pill, and they look at each other and they're like, "Hey, this is the cure?" And I'm like, "Yeah, probably not."
Probably not, but she puts it in her pocket anyway, which I'm almost thinking maybe that'll come in handy next episode or future episodes.
Yeah, maybe when we hit a dead end, that would be the next clue. Maybe it's some medicine that he worked with somebody else with. Who knows? But that's the thing. The bigger part of the episode, though, was what was going on with Doug and Axel. Because they go to Doug's professor or his college, and they learn that his professor had his name Claude, yeah. He was looking for Claude, and he comes to find out that he's homeless. So this is when Axel's expertise comes in here, because he's like, "Oh, I know the person who runs this homeless shelter, a guy named Jerry." So they're looking for Jerry, and they can't find him.
Jerry?
They're asking around. Nobody knows who the fuck Jerry is.
Jerry?
When all of a sudden, some lady comes out. It's like, "Honey, how long has it been?" And come to find out,
Jerry
is now Jill.
Jill, goddamn Jill, you're so tall now. He gave him a bunch of smooches.
Jill is huge.
Yeah, just bigger than Axel. Also, Sasuke, I don't know if you noticed, whenever they were looking for Jerry, I think we found Dr. Skinner. When he was like asking everybody, he said, "You know that guy's blind and can't hear you, right?" He looked exactly like Dr. Skinner. He had the beard, he had the hair, he was just wearing glasses, and I'm like, of course he'd be hiding amongst the homeless. I don't know if that's confirmed or if it's going to come up in future episodes, but I guarantee you they had Dr. Skinner right there in that homeless shelter. They just missed him.
I never noticed that. I got to look back at that scene.
Look back at that scene and look like right when they're first looking for Jerry, and then you see the guy and he's going, "Hey, excuse me, have you seen Jerry?" And the other guy goes, "Hey, bud, that guy can't hear nor see you." Mm-hmm. He looks just like him, and I'm just like, of course he'd be hiding amongst the homeless people, probably to hide from everybody. But that's neither here nor there because it was never confirmed. That's just a theory that I saw when I looked at it. But yes, we see Jill, who is now, used to be Jerry, is in charge of, I guess, the commune. And they kind of like get down to brass tacks as far as like getting a clue of trying to find Skinner and whatnot.
Yeah. So, like, thing to note is, at first, Jill is very against giving them information about Claude because Jill sees it as, I'm here kind of to protect people's past. People are living in the present, especially with the position I am, being a transgender woman. Like, I don't like to delve into other people's past and try to bring that up. So at first, Jill is like, yeah, I'm not giving you any information about Claude. But they keep probing and they keep digging. Eventually, just like, all right, let's make this meeting happen. So Doug and Claude talk, and we get a little backstory for both of these characters.
Mm-hmm. We found out Doug, he was told something. He was told, I can't remember what it was worded, but basically the guy said, "You'll never amount to anything because you're black or something." And then he punched him right in the face. And the only one who had his back was Claude. He was like, "No, he's a brilliant guy. He's really smart. It shouldn't matter that he's black." It's just, come on. But yeah, I found that out, and I was thinking, is that the big thing that happened? He didn't kill anybody. He just punched a teacher.
No, that's definitely not what happened, because he never said that he suffered anything because of that.
Okay.
Now, he obviously got kicked out of school because of that, but that's the only consequence that he named. So that's definitely not whatever he did.
Okay. Because I was unsure. I was just like, if that's it, I mean, I punched a teacher. What of it? But yeah, you're right. I think I still hold on to the fact that it's probably he killed somebody for reasons.
Yeah. And as this all happened, Axel was playing basketball with some random guy.
Does he spin the ball? Want to play a game? And he's like, yeah, sure. And he's doing fucking breakdancing moves, just breaking all the ankles.
Yeah.
Because he tried to like hustle him, right? He was doing the want to play for $100 a game or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he just owned his ass. And he, at the end, when everything was all said and done, he was just like, just pick a better player next time, or whatever he said. He's like, don't you ever come back.
Yeah, they try to do that, but like, you can't really hustle someone at basketball. If you're just better than them, you're better than them. It's different than pool, because with pool, like, with that whole scam is like, okay, you lose the first game on purpose, you give them confidence,
right?
Or you do the whole thing where you just sandbag. You miss stuff intentionally, and then when you want to get serious, then you hit everything. Basketball, I can't say you can't do it, but I just never thought that could be a sport where you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna be bad intentionally, and they're not gonna notice it. Yeah. I feel like it's a little hard to do that.
It seemed like that never happened at all. It was just Axel just owning this man at every turn, and I was just like, well, that didn't work out in your favor.
I think he just dunked on his ass on one of the plays.
I feel like he threw the ball up, or no, he disrespectfully stepped on the guy's back, launched himself up, and dunked on him. That's a technical foul.
That's something.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone do that in the NBA, but I would assume that would be a technical.
Hey, that's street ball.
True, street ball. That's different rules. You can stomp on people to dunk on them, I guess.
Yeah, but going back to the whole Doug and Claude thing. So we learned with Claude, one thing was he became very jealous of Dr. Skinner, who at first was a contemporary for him, but as he kept working with him, he saw that Dr. Skinner's dedication to what he was doing was like super strong, to the point that it was turning people off, because he just was so focused on it that he wouldn't, there was no breaks for him basically. And so after Claude basically abandoned Dr. Skinner, that's when Dr. Skinner just kept elevating himself and elevating himself. Nobel Peace Prizes, all these awards and all the acclaim and the money that came with it. And then, Claude became jealous of that. And being jealous of him, he falsified his research results, which, they found him out, and that got him kicked out the university, and that's why he's homeless now.
What a way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, on one hand, yeah, he's homeless. The other hand, he's going to be dead in a month. So, whatever.
I mean, it's a good time to be homeless, I guess.
It's a good time to be homeless. I'm surprised we haven't seen people start rioting and like looting and doing all kinds of crazy shit yet.
We've seen rioting. They just haven't. It hasn't been a focus. But we've seen rioting.
It's okay. Let me take that back. I feel like there needs to be more of it. I feel like there's just a lot of, I guess, like normalcy so far, because in this same episode, we see like a hospital that's like overran with like a bunch of people that's just probably sick or trying to get better because of whatnot. And there's a running gag, I don't know if you've noticed it in the series, where there's a cop who just keeps missing Axel by that much, the one that saw him in the first episode, and he just walks by him every episode. It's like a running gag with this series, because Axel's just leaning up against somewhere, and the guy, he didn't even say anything, he's just like, he's just whistling, walks one by. I'm like, eventually he's going to run into him again, and I'm almost feeling he's going to be an important character. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
like he's the one that finds Dr. Skinner.
Even with that hospital scene that you were referencing, because there was one guy in there blaming the hospital for prescribing them Hopna. Mm-hmm. So like there's things in the background that show that society is crumbling. I do agree. I think shit should be more chaotic given the time frame of everything. Given that it's going to be like they only have 26 days left.
26 now, yeah.
But it could just be one of those things to where it's not really going to hit the fan until people really like. Maybe things haven't set in for people. That also may be a thing, because we gotta think too. This happened in the course of 4 days thus far. And, there's got to be people who are like, yeah, what the fuck they talking about? We're not going to die.
I mean, look at what happened when COVID happened. Like, I remember when it first happened, I was just like, it's just gonna be something we're just gonna have to write out. Then they started shutting everything down. And then after that, I think it was just starting to get real after that. So maybe it's just one of those things where, yeah, I agree. Like, it's the calm before the storm, so to speak. I think once we get to like day, I don't know, I say a week before the supposed day, people are going to start going crazy and just start rioting, and maybe just martial law is going to happen. Who knows?
Yeah. And even with COVID, because that was a thing that had some effects that people could physically see, or just deaths outright. This is different because there's not any symptoms that you can see on it to make you think that you're sick. It's just the word of all these other, medical doctors and other professionals. And if I learned anything about America,
oh my god,
we do not trust doctors and professionals.
What do you know? I heard some guy on the internet tell me that all I had to do was stand on my head and sing the Pledge of Allegiance, and I was okay. I did that, and I'm fine. God damn it!
I just feel like if you don't have those physical symptoms, there's going to be so many people who just outright deny that it's a possibility. They'll be like, "Yo, what are you talking about? It even sounds unbelievable, like a drug that kills you 3 years after taking it. I can see
really
why
does.
why nobody would really, I won't say nobody, but I would see why a lot of people or majority of people haven't resorted to more drastic measures, outletting their outrage and, all that despair.
Yeah, at least it's not a situation like in Dragon Ball Z. You want to throw your hands up in the air and give your spirit to the sky? Nah, I'm just going to keep playing tennis. First of all, there's a voice in your head and you're not going to go, oh, I need to save the earth? I'm raising them up. I don't care how long.
I mean, if I heard that, I would also I'd be like, the fuck? Like, imagine if I can imagine if I'm playing like Bloodborne or something, and like I'm in the middle of a fight and someone told me in my head, like, yo, raise your hand up to save the earth. I'm gonna like, yeah, no, I need to get this boss kill real quick.
People of Earth, raise your hands up now. We're going to die. Oh, you have a way with words, Vegeta.
And then they say like, you're gonna take your energy. That's gonna make me go like, what the what are you about to do to me?
You're gonna do what with my body, huh?
Yeah.
My God.
But so Claude mentions to Dr. Skinner that he talked to, Claude mentioned to Doug about Dr. Skinner that they had a talk one time about his grandmom, and his grandma lives in Istanbul, Turkey, and what was the snack that they kept? Baklava, yeah. He talks about her baklava. So they go all the way to fucking Turkey to see Dr. Skinner's grandma.
Yep, and it was Axel and Leland this time, not Axel and Doug.
Yeah.
And Leland just, good old fashioned cultural appropriation, just looking the part. When in Rome, right? When in Rome, it's like, hey, I hope nobody notices. As everybody's staring at him, it's like, no, I don't think anyone notices.
I just don't. Why choose these? I mean, I get it. Doug is black, so maybe they just didn't want to do it because he's black. Axel, I could understand. But I don't really understand why they took Leland for this shit. I don't know if Leland was the right guy.
I don't know. That was a interesting scene, to say the least, for sure. And they get a bunch of people to kind of like look at him, then they like chase him. We get more cool, epic like fight scenes, although it be like very short lived versus the first couple episodes. Leland also talked his way out of another jam by saying, "We're here to get some baklava," and they were just like, "Oh, why didn't you say so?" Shit, okay, yeah. I can take you to them right now. Right now. And I just love her answer. They're nice boys. They're just a little misguided. It's like,
yeah, one of them.
You call that misguided?
Chopped my arm off with an axe.
That's a little misguided. That kid needs some help and is a stone cold killer.
It's a future diary character right there.
I guarantee you that guy has skinned some cats and buried them in his backyard when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, we are introduced to what's the grandma's name?
Grandma Belinda.
Grandma Belinda. Okay, yeah, right here, Grandma Belinda. But yeah, and we get to taste her delicious sweet baklava. You ever had baklava?
Have not.
It's like, the way I could describe it is like almost kind of like a sweet honey, kind of like a croissant in a way, but it's in the shape of like a rectangle, and it's like cut into triangles. So it's like crispy and soft, but flavorful and sweet.
Okay.
I've had it once and I liked it. Someone brought it and I was like, "What's baklava?" And they said it was like a Middle Eastern dish, like a dessert, and I didn't know that. But hey, I tried something new.
I also want to say, just for anybody that is watching us, remember us. Remember, you can ask. Remember, you can ask us questions at any time with the Q&A that we have in the chat. Just to let you guys know.
Remember us.
Yeah, like we're about to go on a suicide mission or something.
That's why when you said that, I was like, oh God. Oh my God.
But Grandma Belinda is a sweetheart. She talks about how she still sees Skinner, as her little baby, even though the world hates him and everything he stands for.
He's so cute, just such pinchable cheeks. He's a piece of shit, man. he's literally killing all of humanity, even you, probably. Oh, I forgive him. I mean, she probably thinks that too, because she thinks a psycho that almost chopped off a dude's arm is just a misunderstood boy. and in her mind, Dr. Skinner is a saint.
Yeah. And maybe she sees the good in people to a fault.
Right. He's just a little misunderstood. He committed genocide against all of humanity. Tomato, tomato.
It's like the scene of Jimmy defending those boys in the first episode of Better Call Saul. It's just boys being boys.
I love how the defense, no, it wasn't even defense, it was the prosecutor, didn't even have to say a fucking word. They just put in the videotape, press play, and the footage spoke for itself. And it was just guilty. So great.
But you can see where Dr. Skinner gets his like philanthropy from his grandma, because he was raised by his grandma. Both of his parents died. So, you can, although, like I said, she's nice to a fault. You can see why Dr. Skinner is like so idealistic and so believing in humanity. At least that was the case at some point. We kind of see the roots of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very interesting just to see that kind of dynamic, and you see the younger pictures of Dr. Skinner when he was just an innocent little child. Axel and Leland just kind of like talk amongst themselves, but they're kind of searching the place and whatnot. And what does Axel find? Oh shit, a camera. And before that, the reason they were looking was because like Dr. Skinner like left a video message. Basically, it didn't even seem like it was like a final goodbye or whatever. It was just like he was just checking in on her, going, "Hey, Grandma, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's good. Bye bye." Yeah. Not like a definitive like this is the last time we'll ever talk or whatever. And that's when, like I said, Axel was just kind of looking, and then he found it. And he's like, "Oh, little camera."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "You see me? I'm coming for you, Hogan."
It's also too, he suspected that there's no way that Dr. Skinner would not have a way of checking on his grandma, which makes sense, considering she lives all the way over here in Turkey by herself, that he would have some means of making sure she was okay.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So then that happened, where he made his proclamation that he was going to get Dr. Skinner, and all you saw was just the lower mouth of someone just kind of like looking back and just giving a little smile. And then we end off with the last part of the episode where Elena found the other hacker. He took the bait.
Mm-hmm. Whatever the hell that meant.
Time for me.
Because they were trying to explain that
means.
And they were trying to explain it. And then even, Hirsch was like, layman's terms. And I was like, okay, she explained it in layman's terms, and I still don't understand what the fuck she's talking about. I'm going to just go along with this.
Yeah, I don't know anything about hacking. I'm not a hacker. I'm not anything with computers or whatnot. I'm sure she would know better than I. But as far as me, I'm just like, yeah, hacking words, big words. I'll believe it. Sure. Let's just go with that.
Yeah. So
yeah.
And she says it's Dr. 909, apparently.
The other hacker.
Yeah. And she says she's ready to wreck him.
Yeah. And I'm almost positive the next episode's going to be a very Elena heavy episode, and it's going to be about her hacking skills, how she became a hacker, and probably her going back and forth with this other hacker doing whatever. And they're going to do it in such a unique kind of way where it's a battle, but it's through cyberspace. That's my proclamation and guess.
Trayvon says, you think we'll get individual episodes focused on the one main character's backstory? Well,
I think so.
Considering this is Shinichiro Watanabe, and I'm basing this mostly off of Cowboy Bebop and Carol Tuesday, he typically doesn't go into depth about backstories. Now there's Spike. There is Spike there, right? But the story was intertwined with his backstory. He generally does this thing to where you get their backstory, but it's never like a flashback episode. So I think that's what we're going to get with these characters, where we learn about them through dialogue rather than just showing their backstory outright. If they were to do that with one character, probably they do it with Axel or maybe even Doug, but I doubt we get an episode dedicated to their backstory as it pertains to the, like, literally we're seeing it from their perspective. I think it's going to be storytelling done in exposition and dialogue. So that's how I see it.
Yeah, I think so too. It's going to be interesting.
Well, yeah.
Yes,
this
sir.
Is episode 3, so you know what that means, right?
Oh yes, it's kill, or pass.
The fuck was that?
I don't know. That was just screaming because somebody got killed.
Well, to kill or to pass? That is the question. Asked for ages. I'll start this time.
Okay.
Lazarus. Pretty fun show thus far. Is it Shinichiro Watanabe's finest right now? Nah. Can't say that. Think Carol Tuesday had a better start. Think Cowboy Bebop had a better start. It's good though. It's good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's great. I don't think it's very good. I think it's a good series thus far. I do want more from it. I think we are going to get more from it. And I think once we start getting into these characters where we really start to know them, then the series will be a lot better for it. So with that being said, I think this is a very easy pass for me.
I'm in the same boat. This is an easy pass for me as well. I agree with all the sentiments. Not so. We're 3 episodes in. Is it his best so far? I wouldn't say that. It's. I would say it's better than some, but not a lot. Definitely not Carol and Tuesday, Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, all those. But it's got me interested. I'm enjoying the world that we're seeing so far. I think this is going to be one of a more slower kind of shows. And what I mean by that is because there's like a timeline where we have to get to, there's like a threat imminent towards the end. It's just one of those kind of wait and see what happens next. And yeah, we'll have stories with these characters. I'm sort of just kind of like waiting to see what the payoff's going to be, so to speak, you know, like what's the big reveal at the end. And I think that's either going to make or break the series, depending on what it is. It could be one of a really good series, or it could be a very bad one.
That is true. That is true. Well, we haven't done this in a long time, but I'm about to put it on the pass screen, so...
Ooh.
Damn it. Still has that thing right there.
Did it work?
You pass.
It should be working. Yeah. All right.
Sweet. Oh, yes. Beautiful.
Just have to put this down here. Okay. So that is it for Lazarus. We will continue watching it, and then we will talk about episode 4 next week. But continue on with the show. God damn it. Okay. Continue on with the show. The next anime we will be talking about is none other than Rock is a Lady's Modesty. Episode 3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
More Yuri bait.
Oh, absolutely. They touch tips. And by tips, I mean their fingertips. They were rocking out. They
We're sweaty.
They were sweaty and moist. And then I think they were like back to back with each other, panting as, you know, because they both were in a jam and rock session.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally did this. And I feel like
they were pillow talking.
They were pillow talking. They did this. And then the very next scene, you see Otaha going, no, I can't take it anymore. And Lalisa's like, oh, yes, you can. I'm going to push it even further beyond. No. And then she's just stretching. She's just doing stretches in PE. Oh, my God. But yeah, I saw that and I went, this is Yuri bait. And while this is all happening, once again, all the girls are like, oh, I didn't know they knew each other on such a, they're so sweet. Bitch, they're just stretching.
That is the funniest part of this, is how much of all the other girls in the school are dick riders. Anytime Lalisa or Otaha does anything, it doesn't matter. Literally, Otaha left the conversation with Lisa by just flipping her hair, and it was like, oh my God, she's so elegant. How does she do it?
She could go to the bathroom and like take a shit and wipe her ass, and they'd be like, she's so good at doing that 2-ply. She doesn't even need she just swipes in the perfect kind of way.
It's not a speck
It's
of
so
feces
ridiculous.
left. I would know.
Yeah. Oh my God. But yes. So yeah, there was very heavy tones of that girl's love. Just very much so, with the holding hands and the stretching, and like I said, just the moaning when the stretching, and there was a couple other scenes that I remember too. I think it was just like you said, the flipping of the hair, and then the flowers, and the shining whatever.
Yeah. I was going to say, this was my favorite episode thus far. I think this episode did a really good job of just showing us really putting us in the mind frame of Lalisa, and it made her a much better character, I feel. Not that I didn't like her before, but I think this episode just really showed you her, the pros of her character. Because one thing about her is that she's really dedicated into anything that she does. And that's shown in all the passion that she puts in these things that she doesn't even really like. When it comes to being, more of a dignified, traditional Japanese lady, with her learning English, sports, stuff like tea ceremony, all this stuff. But also just like, because really we started this episode with the whole jam session, and that was really, that was great. I loved it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. It basically just showed Lalisa, because at first it was just she wanted to upstage Otaha and just be like, yeah, I'm better than you. Then she truly and honestly got her passion back and was just like, I forgot how good this felt. Yeah. Oh my God, I love this.
Yeah, she even calls herself a liar while playing, because she's just like, because she starts off by saying, I don't really care about this anymore. I'm focused on being a noble maiden. I'm going to put this away. I just want to beat her, and that's it. I'll put it down. And as she's playing and as she's getting more into it, trying to upstage Otaha, who's giving her all, she's she's smiling while she's doing it. It's not like she's just angrily, playing the guitar. She's genuinely enjoying it in a most like crazed manner ever. She has like the shark teeth, and she's jamming out, and it was a really good scene. You could feel the passion from both of those two characters in that jam out session.
Mm-hmm. For sure. They did that, and then they talk shit to each other afterwards.
Yeah. And this time they're both doing it.
Yeah. You suck at playing the drums. Yeah, well, you suck at guitar. And they had a few choice words for each other.
Cunt, slinging, something like that.
That's right. It was the word. Yeah. And then after they were done, they touched tips and said, let's make a band. Oh.
This series is very homoerotic. I'm telling you, I'm gonna say it every time. This is so much like Kakegurui. Down to the Yuri bait, down to the design of these characters, down to the homoerotic scenes like what we got this episode. Because it becomes like a metaphor for what they're trying to portray, which is the passion. That they'll use like the sexual scenes. Like for example, Lalisa was doing the whole dominatrix thing, which we saw in episode 1, but she brought it back in this episode where she had like Otaha on a leash or something like that, showing that she was gaining the dominance. So that's kind of what Kakegurui does in some of his gambles as well. Not that specific dominatrix thing, but you know what I mean.
No, they get very visual. I remember. When it comes to that sort of stuff. But I pretty much figured like the person who did this series was heavily inspired by Kakegurui. I'm almost positive at this point.
I would be surprised if that wasn't the case, just with everything that's going on in this series.
The artist is just like, just original IP. Bullshit.
It's a coincidence. Even the personalities, Lisa's very much like Mary. This is married to a T. She's very passionate about what she wants, very goal oriented. Whereas Ota is kind of like Yumiko, who lives in the moment and is almost like a victim to her own desire. To where it's like, I want this and I can't really help what I want. It's just what I want. It's very reminiscent of Joker, or, one of these like thrill seeking characters. Like a Kenpachi from Bleach, one of those type of characters.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. All Elisa has to do now to be completely Mary is say "baka."
Oh yeah,
she'll be.
She's too vulgar for that now, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Doing whatever she said before. You smelly dirtbaggy bitch.
Yeah, she's too advanced for Mary in that regard. For sure. But yeah. So it was interesting seeing Lalisa because of the jam out session. She was now putting her passion to everything that she was not really trying to put her passion in. Like it came with the English reading where she was like, she was really into the character. It came with the whole, I think it was volleyball that they were playing. Where she's
no, it was badminton.
Oh, badminton. Yeah, she had spiked it, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god, Lisa!"
Everything she did that day, she spiked it and was like, "Oh no, I was too I was too aggressive with that. I didn't mean to." But they loved her anyway.
Yeah.
And it's just like, girl, take this as a sign. You can be passionate and like not overbearing, but just like very into all the stuff that you want to do, and people will still respect you. Take that as a sign. You won't have to hold back.
Her English was better this episode.
Yeah, she even replied to somebody telling her something in English. I forgot what she said, but she was like, "Oh, thank you," or like, "You're welcome."
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good, and like she was really into it too. I think that was the other thing. She was like reading it, but just like almost kind of like doing like a an epic reading that you would do in like the arts or something. It's just, and he came up and had his battle axe and he was ready to fight. I mean, and they were like, "Oh, that's so great!"
Yeah, she was doing a dramatic reading of it. So yeah, she's showing, or at least what the series is showing, is that contrary to what she believes, she can be as intense in some of these other things that she does, and people will still like her for her. Whether that's because they're under the illusion of it's good because it's her, because that could be a thing because they seem to praise her for anything she does.
Anything.
Yeah, so that may be the case, but I mean, if that is the case, that more proves the point that she can be passionate about some of the things that she does without being reprimanded or not being able to achieve her ultimate goal, which is the goal of being the noble maiden.
Yeah. Yep. And maybe that's the kind of thing that she needed from Otaha.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, she didn't know because she was just like, oh, she's just so annoying, blah, blah, blah. It wasn't the annoyance. It was more of the maybe trying to have you break down her walls. But Otaha wasn't trying to do that. She just wanted somebody to play with. Let's be honest. That's all it was.
Yeah. I again, very Yumeko-esque. I think there's method to her madness. I think she probably thought that there was a kindred spirit in Lalisa. So while I agree with you, I don't think she necessarily planned for what happened to happen, but I do think that she hoped that maybe there would be someone just like her in, having that jam out session.
Yeah. Yep. And that's what they got. They're planning on forming a band, but specifically just an instrumental band, apparently, because, those go far.
She was so opposed to the singing thing that I'm just like, is it because Ota can't sing? Is that why she's so opposed to it? Like, she really didn't want that.
She's either opposed to it because of that, or maybe, and again, I'm just kind of like thinking back to the beginning of the series where, her passion was drumming. Maybe her passion was something else. Not passion, but her parents forced her into doing something. Maybe it has something to do with singing. I'm thinking maybe, she was probably born and bred to be a singer, from her rich family. And then to the point where she just got tired of it and took up drumming. And now her parents are just like, why don't you ever sing anymore? I don't know. Maybe I'm just overthinking.
No. I think you have a point right there. She also mentioned her parents kind of like, because Lalisa remarked that, because they're talking about their grand ambitions, and one thing that Lalisa wanted to do was perform at the largest outdoor festival in Japan, Fuji Rock. She said it had like a 60,000. Is a 60,000 venue? Probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see if that's a real thing. Fuji Rock. Huh, yeah. Literally Fuji Rock Festival. Mm-hmm. Wow. Oh, it's coming up in July.
Oh, shit. Better go now.
We gotta see if they... we gotta see the... that's right. On C's time. And we gotta watch this band, whatever they decide to name themselves.
But yeah, going on with what I was saying, because Ota questions Lisa like, oh, you want to do this big thing, but don't you also want to be anonymous? Like, don't you not want people to know your identity? And then she's like, we'll worry about that later. But she shoots that question back at Lisa shoots that question back at Otaha of, why does she want to be anonymous exactly when it seems that her family has been providing her, because her dad is the one who's pulled in money for the reconstruction of the building that they play in, and she used her dad's money to buy the instruments. So it's like, what is exactly your family dynamic? And she's not divulging anything, but she has made it a point to say that her parents are very hands off with her. Like, they know what's going on, but they don't really care to do anything about it, which is kind of telling in of itself.
Mm-hmm. Almost like maybe they disowned her or something, which would be sad.
Yeah. Trevor said I like it's easy for Otaha to manipulate Lalisa. Well, yeah, Lalisa's very hard on the sleeve type. Where I mean, Otaha is kind of like that too, but I think with Lalisa, she's very prideful, and with someone like that, they're more easily manipulated just because all she has to do is press that button of what are you scared? And then she's going to jump on it every time.
Ooh, you son of a bitch! I'm going to show you.
Yeah. So it's an easy tactic for her to employ. But
yeah. One rule, or let me start over. They had the foundation setting for their bands, and they tried to come up with some rules for their band. And I feel like, for the most part, they stuck to them, except for the very last rule, which was no more putting each other down through insults and swearing and whatever. Time passes. Couple hours pass, and they break that rule almost instantly. They don't even care. They're just like, "You suck ass! That's the worst fucking drum solo I ever heard. You call that guitaring? I've seen better guitar playing with a kindergartner." You know, it's just all the things you could possibly imagine.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that whole thing of them giving the verbal insults is less of them trying to insult each other and just a show, or the series showing that they're very much into what they're doing, I think. So
I just love the kind of like the before and after, because they're like happy and sparkly and free. They're like, "We're gonna get ready to play." They're just swearing after that.
So I think once we have those other band members, because Trayvon mentioned how he wanted to see the other band members, I think the other band members are going to be pretty much the same in that dichotomy of I want to have the outward appearance of someone who fits in with the school, being very ladylike, but behind closed doors, when we're in this room rocking out, I'm going crazy, you know. And it'll be interesting to see exactly how everybody else's switch is flipped, or you know, how that change works. Is there going to be is the transition going to be the same for Lalisa and Otaha, where all they need to do is have one session, they go at each other, or is it going to take a little more for these characters? Who knows? But I do think they're also going to be on the same wavelength as everybody else, and you know, be just as passionate as Lalisa and Otaha.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm waiting forward to seeing that. We see them in the intro. Killer intro as always. I don't think I skip it. I listen to it and I enjoy it. But good to see that. Something happened at the end where we have what the little stepsister, Alice, and she has some thoughts about her stepsister, where she's like, even in middle school, I can't get away from this bitch. I'm tired of hearing about her, and it almost, just from what I hear, it sounds like, I mean, yeah, not only does she not like her, but she feels like that they are trying to like steal her dad away, or that like, because I don't know if like she had a like previous mother. I mean, obviously she did, but I don't know where she is in the picture now. Maybe she's thinking she's, you know, like Lisa's mother is the other woman, and maybe they got together kind of like because of an affair. I don't know. It just makes it seem like she doesn't like them being there.
Yeah.
And she's very, not vocal about it, but you could tell in her demeanor she does not like hearing about them talking about Lalisa.
Yeah. It makes sense. Just with the skeleton of that. You have a new sibling they're the older ones, maybe they're getting more attention and it's being brought to your attention of how great they are. So that makes you feel inferior. You know, we don't know much about Alice, but the whole premise of her character makes sense thus far. Be interesting to see where exactly we take her character. Trayvon in the chat says, you think Lilisa's sister going to be a fan or maybe a band member? She's not going to be a band member just from the opening. We see other characters and it's not her. I do think she will be a fan. I think what's going to end up happening is that she tries to sabotage Lisa in some way, try to find out some dirt. She finds out about their band and she keeps it a secret because she's so moved by it. I can see something like that happen.
She's going to try to tell somebody, and then Otaha comes in there and goes, let me get my whips and chains and convince you not to do that. And she's just like, oh, what are you doing? What are you doing with that? No, Yamate. Always with the... It has to be the wide shot where it's just the building and then it just pans all the way up to the sky. Yeah! No!
Now I can never be married.
You held my hand. Now I'm pregnant. Amelia, that's not how it works.
Yeah, Trayvon says I feel like they would get along. I think she's going to be like a closeted fan where she doesn't like express that to her sister, like a Tsunade, basically.
Yeah, she's gonna be a Tsundere fan. You guys are okay, I guess.
Yeah, she just has that look, so I can see it. But EA, this is also up for a kill or a pass. This is episode 3. So EA, your verdict, please.
Well, this is a series I honestly didn't know what to expect. First episode, I was a little, not underwhelmed, but it was fine up until the ending, and I was just like, what the hell? Just cussing and swearing at her for no reason. But then as the episodes went on, like I said, episode 2, referencing rock bands, fucking awesome. They even mentioned it in this episode. Yeah, none of my kids, like when she was like practicing as she was like a little girl, none of the friends or kids I know Led Zeppelin. And I'm just like, yes. So there's more awesomeness in that. But no, I genuinely, even though there's a lot of homoerotic undertones in this series, not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just, you know, we know we're not going to get anything out of it. They're not going to be a couple. It's just they're girls that are passionate about music. No kissing, no banging, no nothing. But overall, I've enjoyed this series. I think it's really, really good. I'm entertained so far, and I'm honestly curious to see what happens next episode. So I'm going to pass it.
Yes, this is a Yuri Bait anime. It is the anime that I picked, so it'll be no surprise that I am going to pass this show. I think, and I'm excited to talk about it because I want to make a first impressions video of this show. But yeah, I've been really liking the direction the story is going in. I think it sends a very good message of just being, or not being afraid of being passionate in the things that you truly love and expressing that. It's a difficult thing that they're doing because it's like Lisa has to live this double life. But I think eventually she's going to get super into her guitar playing, and like the real message of the series is going to show itself. And I'm liking the direction thus far. I like these characters. I'm excited to see other band members, and the music thus far has been good as well. So for me, this is a pass. So I'm going to press the button for the pass screen.
Woo! The pass, baby! You pass this time.
All right. So that is it for Rock is a Lady's Modesty episode 3. We will be talking about episode 4 next week, so stay tuned for that. The next episode, or the next show we're talking about, It's episode 2 of Apocalypse Hotel. And EA, I know you were mighty confused.
Yeah, I was. Oh my god. Shampoo hat gone. But
maybe it's okay the shampoo hat is gone.
Yeah, they found that out later in the episode because they tried to give him this alien thing a shampoo hat and he didn't want it. And he was just, that's when we find out her name. It's Yachio.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yachio. She's the temporary manager of the manager of the manager of the hotel. And I don't think the alien spoke one bit of word that was comprehensive. Just the whole time. Yeah, and I couldn't even tell you if he even enjoyed his stay or not.
I think he did. I think he did. He gave her a present.
Yeah, he did. He gave her a green vial of something. He didn't like this, but this was okay.
It's so stupid.
I love that. Every time it was just like he forced it. Like,
no, bitch. Stop.
That's racist. Now that's better.
It's like doing the Hell Hitler thing. It's like, no, this is a raised hand, and that's something else.
Right. And what you, don't raise it any higher than that. Yeah. It was just interesting just to see kind of like Yachio trying to speak with this alien and like accommodate it for the whole time because, 1 minute's like, oh, are you happy? And it's just like he opens up the top of his head and just, I don't know, like eats something. That's how he eats, apparently. It's not the hole in his right here. It's the hole in the top of his head. And he eats it and it's really hot and he goes, was it good, sir? Do you like it? You know what it reminds me of? That fucking Doodle Bob in SpongeBob. The way that he would talk. Blah.
I just love that because you can tell what the fuck whatever he was trying to convey, but you could tell by the tone of his voice when he was like, no, I was like, oh shit.
He's serious. He does. He doesn't want no shower hat. He is done with that. And he was given the key and they didn't know what to do with it, so then he put it on top of her head.
Oh, I understand.
Oh, you want me to show you your room? Here it is.
I think that's the funniest part with me for me is just Yachio trying her best to navigate this and being, the biggest professional that she could be about it. Because to start this whole thing, she's spoken like a whole bunch of different languages to try to understand him. Like she was like, and it was like cool how she was switching it. I don't know all the languages she went to, but she was just cycling through them.
Yeah, the first one was English, and then I think the second one was like Chinese, and then it just like went through all the different ones. I think I heard Russian at one point, but yeah, in like Arabic. I was like, wow, she's saying everything just and then just nope. And she's just like, okay, I'll try my best. Doing a little Japanese. Would you like to stay? Yeah. Just anything and everything this damn thing did. It just I think he was happy. He was like planting a bunch of shit around the hotel.
So, the clean clothes, the way he kept reacting when there's clothes.
Oh my! no, walks outside, and even the door robot's like, why didn't he let me open the door? Why didn't he let me open it? No.
I mean, that's his only purpose. So you take that away from him. What does he have left? Just a shampoo hat.
Nothing. I'm just a guy wearing a shampoo hat. Nothing.
Oh, did you notice that Yachiho changed the way that she revitalized him with the water?
Oh yeah, she did the spray bottle.
Yeah. No more.
Right. Because that's, he said, I don't like it when you throw water in my face. It gets in my eyes. That's why he got the shower cap and everything. So instead, she just, there. Is that better, big baby? Which
begs the question, why is he still wearing the shower hat?
Just in case she reverts back, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, definitely confused the first episode. I think I'm even more of the mindset of confusion with this episode just because an alien stayed the whole time and was about to skip out. But it wasn't for Yachio. I was like, your bill, sir. You got to pay for it.
I like how he just tried to walk out there. He's like, oh, shit.
Yeah. And then, he didn't have any money, but luckily, they happened to find some random money on the ground. It's like, that's what you pay with. And he goes, oh. And then just gives it to
That's all
yeah. And he flew away in a giant, I don't even know, like a golden snitch from Harry Potter is what it looked like. It's just, yeah.
We got to talk about
happened.
We got to talk about the new character we got, which was the environment checker robot who tried to hyper beam his ass.
He turned into a fucking tank and was ready to destroy the alien. And Yachiho was just like, no, he is a guest here at this hotel. You cannot kill him. And he's like, okay, but when he checks out, I'm gonna blast his ass.
Yeah, because the environment checker robots, their job is to basically relay information to humans that Earth is inhabitable again. And what we find out with him is that he's been giving them reports for decades, and they haven't responded in decades. So it's either that humans are gone or they just don't care to go back to Earth. At least that's how it's looking thus far.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like a Wall-E thing where they're just floating around in space getting fat or they're all dead and they're like gone and wiped away from existence, which if that's the case, that's incredibly bleak and dark. That's like one of those, damn, that stinks.
I hope they have a shower shampoo hat in heaven.
They'll have a shampoo hat in heaven. It's like, and that was her only concern. She's like, human race is over. I hope they had shower caps by the end. My God.
We did get a bit of a theme in the series, because the series is very wacky, zany, and just out there. I think what Trayvon said, I don't know what's going to happen next episode, but I'm here for it. That's kind of just the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah.
Because I genuinely do not know where the story is going to go. I don't think anybody knows where this story is going to go. But I have been thoroughly enjoying it. But we did get one bit of something story related or character related. Which was Yachio talking about or giving us a flashback of when the manager was still around there, and guys, she was trash at her job and everybody hated her. She said somebody was yelling at her for like over an hour, something crazy.
Oh, customer service, man.
Christ. What did you do?
I'm so glad I work with phones, because at least with that you can always go click. In person, ooh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
Yo. But that whole thing got triggered because the damn alien appeared to be drowning in the pool, and that's when that one the robot was like, I forgot what he said, but it made me laugh because it's like, I can't kill your guest. Well, I can't remember what he said, but it was something along the lines of like, I can't kill your guest, but I think your guest is about to die before I kill him or something.
Yeah.
And then he's just, and then she jumps in to try to save him. And that's just how he swam, apparently, because he was just like, la, 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 like everything was fine afterward. And she just sinks to the bottom of, I'm guessing, 100-foot pool. Like, how deep is this fucking pool?
It was like an ocean when they were showing her sinking.
But yeah, that's a nice little tidbit, and then that's when she gets struck with inspiration, so to speak, because that's when she's like, I'm gonna make this alien some tea. She made him some tea, and I guess he really liked it because he was like, "Wow!"
Or he hated it because he like threw it up.
He was tripping balls for a second.
Oh yeah, he was. She put shrooms in his shit.
He was tripping balls, just, oh my God, no. And I think that's what made him puke, because he just threw up right in her face too, just bleh, stream of it. What a crazy show.
I did like the message though, where the manager was talking about possibilities over probabilities, because he was talking about how he, recruited the robots in the first place, and how nobody thought the hotel was going to succeed because of it, but it ended up working out. And as ridiculous as it sounds, just like how Yachio thought that the hotel was gonna be disastrous because one room was missing the shampoo hat. She, persevered and was able to, it seems at least, give the alien a good lodging. It seems like he enjoyed himself.
Yeah. Thank God for that, because everything was fine up until that point. The hotel was gonna go under. Yep. Before that scene, then the alien stayed, and everything's restored with the universe.
I just found out we don't need a shampoo hat in every room.
And then all the robots were like, wow, amazing. Then old environmental checker robot tries to kill the alien, but that's when Yachihu says, wants a resident or not? A member, guest, wants a guest, always a guest. And he's just like, oh, so you saying I can't kill him?
Man.
Swiper just, oh man, I can't kill him. Man, my whole life is ruined.
Yeah. But that was pretty much the episode in a nutshell.
Yeah, the long and the short of it. It was just, a lot of visual stuff. What? Oh,
he's hungry.
Is it spicy? Oh my God.
Man. So I wonder. Well, no. We seen like the Taniki people, so it will be interesting to see like different guests and how this hotel reacts to them and whatnot. That seems to be what we're going to do with the show, but I have no clue where the story is going to go. If it's going to have like some underlying plot that exists within it, other than like humanity, the possibility of humanity coming back and that stuff. But
all I know is we'll never have to worry about shampoo hats ever again.
Nope. I'm going to complain.
Shampoo hat gone.
I'm gonna go to a hotel, and if they don't have a shampoo hat, I'm gonna act a fool.
You're gonna talk to him for an hour and go, when I paid for this room, I wanted a damn shampoo hat. What's in this room?
It is
no
my
shampoo
birthright.
hat. I need a shampoo hat. Damn it.
Wow. That is episode 2 of Apocalypse Hotel. Enjoying the show. Very wacky.
Different.
Yeah. I mean, this kind of what is lit. Like, it's so funny how we looked at the trailer and how we feel now is kind of the same, where it's like, we looked at the trailer, we're like, we don't know what this is exactly. We just know that it looks fun. And then 2 episodes later, kind of in the same boat. We don't know what the fuck is going on exactly, but it's fun.
Yeah. Goofy series.
Yeah. Well, on to the last show for the spring season. None other than Ranger Reject Season 2, or if you want to use this bastard name, Go Go Loser Ranger Season 2.
Sorry, I almost threw up. But so I guess with this particular episode, we find out the green team is kind of an unlucky team. They're a team filled with people that don't stay for very long. It's not because they get promoted either. It's because they get killed by the damn kaijus that they're fighting. I think I don't think they say it outright, but you kind of have an understanding of that, because at one point it's like, wait a minute, we're the only 4 people on our team? The Green fucking Ranger, you, Angel, and D?
Well, no, the kaiju thing happened with a Red Ranger.
Okay, yeah, but I was thinking of, because they were like looking through like documents or whatever, and they were like, oh, there's other Rangers here. And then I think it said in like red or bold print where like, lost or unknown, they couldn't find them. I'm assuming they're dead. But you are right about that. There was a big old monster attack, and it seemed like the Red Rangers were like getting fucked up by it to the point where even the Red Ranger himself couldn't even be bothered with it. He was just like, let someone else. Yeah, I got a sponsor to deal with it. Let someone else deal with it. I gotta sell this Papa John's. I gotta shield this product. Let's do this.
That's the perfect pizza for Sose. He would definitely advertise Papa John's.
This monster attack brought to you by Papa John's. Better ingredients, not better people. Papa John's.
Better pizza than the people, for sure.
Better pizza than the owner. I mean people, but Papa John's. My God.
So, I will say, since I've read the manga, I'm hoping that, because there was content that was not here, I'm hoping that they put it in the next episode or the episode that follows that, because it's not imperative. It can be skipped, but what was skipped basically was why Hisui chose Angel and D to be a part of the Green Squad. Because
didn't they say it was because they did so good against the Petrola fight?
Well, here's the thing. So I guess I'm spoiling it. It's not like that big of a scene, or it's not anything like this much of a spoiler.
Stab my heart. No, I'm kidding.
I'll do it softly, very gently.
Okay, just a little pinprick.
Yeah. So, and this makes sense, right? Because with D, who is posing as Sakurama, we know that the Pink Squad wants him because of his sister. So you would figure, how the hell did D end up in the Green Squad? Even if Hisui wanted him, you would think that's
true.
You would think that he would be a part of the Pink Squad just because of his sister. But
right
in a flash, we see a flashback, and this was what was cut of all the leads being together. Not the leads, but the juniors. So Hisui, the big guy from Pink Squad, Yumeko from Yellow, and I actually don't remember if the midget was there, but actually she had to be there. Yeah, it was she was there. They get together and they're like, all right. They're talking about the candidates and whatnot, and when they're actually, I think Yumeko's talking about how she wants to have D on her squad, given their relationship, of her wanting him to kill the Rangers, and then Pink is talking about how he's like, my lady wants him on the pink squad, so I must have him on the pink squad, and then Hisui comes out of nowhere and is like, no, I like D and Angel. And they're like, huh? We thought you didn't really even care about that exam. And then she was like, I like their guts. And that's kind of what we need to fight off the executive monsters. And they're like, whatever. And they're bowling or something. And she's like, she makes a bet with them. She's like, whoever wins this game, basically gets to recruit them in their squad, and that ends up happening. And Yumeko taunts Hisui because of what you said about them having like dead members. Well, they basically confirm that at least one of their members died, and Hisui talks about how she's like, I won't let any harm come to them. Just showing that she cares about Angel and D, despite like what we saw like last episode or even this episode. It tells you of why she recruited them, and how it happened.
Yeah, that would be more interesting had we seen that. But maybe you're right. Maybe they're either going to do it in the next episode or the episode after, where they kind of like flesh it out more. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah,
because that seems rather important, kind of.
It's not a big thing to where, like I said, it needs to be there, but it's like, why cut it out? Why exactly cut that out? It doesn't seem like a good decision.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll put it in later.
Yeah, but that's the good side of Hisui. But Angel and D are not feeling the green squad. They've been tasked with dusting, trash
they're
duty.
Cleaning.
Yeah.
And this sucks.
That seems just to be a general like shonen thing of training. That's always used as a method for some lazy ass master to get their new students to do their chores for them and pose it as training. So this is more the same of the old school tactics. Think of Master Roshi and him making fucking Krillin and Goku like plow farms and shit like that.
Oh yeah, and or delivering milk.
Literally, he wanted them to deliver a fine girl to his house, and that's how lunch got there.
That's right. I was like, we found her, master. What?
Oh.
I mean, and then, she's really nice. She sneezes. Whoa, woof. Who is... Just start shooting everybody.
It still has a home to this day, apparently.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not feeling green squad. They're like, yeah, this is ass. And then D's like, also, why the hell are we the only ones doing anything? And then he's always like, yeah, it's kind of just me, you, her, and then Green. And then it's like, wait, it's 4 of us?
What?
You know how many other people are in other squads? Why is there just 4 of us? That's stupid.
That does seem rather weird when you look at it, because I feel like other Rangers had like way more than that. Like other departments, like Green Ranger only has 4 people. Weird.
Yeah. But we come to find out, well, actually we found this out last episode. This unit is very specialized in hunting down executives. So, not to say that they shouldn't have more members. I mean, they did at some point. But these members are very there's less members than other squads just because there's not really cannon fodder when it comes to the Green Squad. They're a very specialized unit for one goal and one goal in mind. So they're not like the other Rangers where they're always out in public. They're kind of in the shadows doing things. So it makes sense that they would have way less members than anybody else. 4 is still a ridiculous number, but if anything, I think that speaks about how great at what they do to function as a unit with only, I mean, before D and Angel, 2 members.
Yeah, that's incredible. Only 2, and they can take down a kaiju. Crazy.
Yeah. So Angel digs around and she sees that 2 members. We kind of already addressed this, but that makes them kind of be wary of Hisui. In a funny scene when Hisui started yelling at D, because they just keep beefing. Hisui wants to fight D because he keeps shit talking her, and they're going back and forth. But it was a funny scene of where she shit talks him, and he's like, after I kill the Dragon Keepers, I'm going to kill you too.
Oh, he hates her that much.
Yeah, she's on the list.
It's like, I just want to kill the Dragon Keepers, but you just made the list.
It's so funny how much, because based on the designs, I can tell that with Negi Haruba, she was definitely based on Nino, just with her personality, because Nino also had that prickly personality while having a sweet side to her. And I see that with her character, like she follows Nino. And I feel that Angel really models after Miku in their appearance and also kind of how they act. Like Miku's a sweetheart, and that's kind of like what you get with Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. An angel with big boobs and heterochromia eyes.
Yep. What more can you ask for?
You can't ask for more than that. But we're reintroduced to that one character, Chidori, with the spiky earrings and everything. And he was like, oh, I remember you. You helped me the other day. Oh.
Shonen. Listen, kept calling him Shonen Boy.
Shonen Boy. It's you. Huh? It's like, do you know each other? Kind of. I told him, I had him get let go from a police officer, and it was kind of a bad idea. But then we find out he was an informant, I guess.
Yeah. So he gives them information about there being a group that is suspected of having these kids spirited away. So they end up looking at this group, Ouroboros, and it's like a group of people that are just like a whole bunch of delinquents just hanging out at this abandoned school for whatever reason. And so we go there on a weekend. I don't know if I think it was a Sunday. And they're checking out the place. Hisui just kicks in the door. She's like, we gotta show them our best hospitality. And the next scene is, the Rangers are here. And then some random guy tries to kill her, and that doesn't end up well.
Yeah, she just grabs him and goes, make your move, punk. And then the big boss man with the snake tattoo across his face. Very trustworthy looking guy. I mean, you can always trust somebody with a snake tattoo on their face.
Mike
was
Tyson,
just like, yep. And he's just like, oh, I apologize for his manners. Please forgive him. Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, so they look around, they don't really find anything, but there is one guy who's who wanted to be a ranger, but due to recent events, Blue's death, he's very skeptical of the Rangers, and that's one thing that we're seeing right now in this current arc. A lot of the public don't believe in the Rangers because of Blue's death and these monsters still being out there. So, and I really like that scene with him and Hisui, just because Hisui's angry at the Rangers being criticized because I mean she cares about the Rangers obviously, but instead of just telling him that he's wrong or something, she's like, "Yeah, we kind of suck for that." So she kind of just took accountability for the Rangers not being what the public demands of them.
Yeah, we're kind of a piece of shit.
We will be better.
We will be better. We have the technology. Meh.
And so he gives them information that he said, "Come back tomorrow, and you might see something weird." And like, okay. And then he asked Hisui specifically, can he still be a hero? And we get another good scene for her where she's like, all you need to do is take a step forward to be a hero. You know, it's not too late.
She points at him she points to him and goes, "Even you, young Deku, can be a hero." That's what it reminded me of when he said, "Can I also be a hero? Oh my, can I be a hero? Oh,
You're not good enough, kid."
No. You break at the sign of any fucking trouble. Like, look at you. You're breaking it. Your bones are cracking right now. Boy. They do go back into the school, though, and then all of a sudden, it's like a regular day of high school. And they're like, huh? Wait, what? Huh?
This is when things gets really trippy.
It does, because they like do something that breaks the rules every time, and it's almost like Groundhog Day, where it just restarts from the beginning. Because Hisui like brings out the knife. Oh, knives are forbidden. You broke a rule. Start over. Stabs him in the face. Broke a rule.
No, well, she started it off by like kicking his arm or whatever, and it's like, okay,
kick. That's right.
And then she just goes, and that's what made me laugh. It's just like, this is how crazy the character is. She just kills him the second time. She doesn't waste any time. She's like, yeah, all right, okay, let's try this. It just kills him. And then the student's like, rule violation. And then the resets.
Yep. And at that point, they're like, well, I guess if we break a rule, it starts over. Let's see how this plays out. And I love the fact that they're trying to see how it plays out. But D breaks two rules. He eats food in class because he's a monster. He don't know no better. And he peeked on the girls' locker room. Fucking
right. I'm trying to get some information.
What? I was investigating. Come on, guy. And I love Hisui's reaction. She's just so angry and pissed and on fire. She's like, if you do that one more time, I'm going to end you myself.
This is jumping ahead, but like when they had that last reset, I like how she immediately blamed him.
And he's like, it wasn't me. I swear I didn't do anything. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
So yeah, they figured that they had to follow the rules. D's struggling because, like you said, he's a monster. He doesn't know how human society works. He never went to school. So he's struggling, but they end up almost, passing by the day. Once it hits 3:00 though, time resets again.
Yep, resets again.
And we're
I swear I didn't do anything.
Yeah. We're like, okay, well, we just reset, I guess. But then we see that Angel seemingly is like assimilated into the school.
Oh,
to where
no.
She doesn't.
Not Angel.
Yeah, she doesn't have like a memory of her mission. She thinks that she's a part of the school, just like how everybody else thinks.
Mm-hmm. That's one of those, no, not her. But she like was talking to him before even before she got like brainwashed or whatever, was just the whole, oh yeah, I noticed that you've never been to school, have you? And Dee's like, oh, yeah, I've totally been to school. And she was talking about how, she understands and kind of like notices throughout the day. She used to be like a high school class president or whatever, like, and that tracks too. She looks like she could be the class president just by the looks alone. But as they were having their nice heart to heart, that's when everything reset. And she's just like, well, we got to get to class. Don't want to be late. Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hello, Angel? Are you in there?
So what do you think is going on exactly?
I don't know. Because maybe if you blend in too well, you become assimilated or you become part of them. And maybe Angel did too good of a job. Because D, we know he ain't going to be good. He's an imbecile. Well, not an imbecile. He kind of is an imbecile, but also he doesn't know how school works. He's just kind of going with the flow. But I'm thinking maybe that has something to do with it. Also, I kind of noticed when she mentioned I used to be class president. Maybe if you were really big into school back then, somehow that gets turned into you being brainwashed and taking control over. I don't know. Maybe something like that has something to do with it too. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that they're looking for this demon. I'm guessing it's the fucking guy with the snake tattoo. If it's not him, someone's controlling him. it's just too obvious.
They talked to that guy, the big guy that you're talking about, was talking to the real boss.
Right. Okay, yeah, they did. Okay, so I was right. They did show somebody. That's the real boss, but we don't know who or what he is. Just he's been in the shadows.
No, we do know something. You didn't notice his outfit?
I'm ashamed. What is it?
He was wearing a Green Ranger outfit.
Oh my gosh. So you mean to tell me this is one big giant test or something?
Well,
or maybe there's some fucking corruption?
Well, either that or it's one of the former members. That remember how you said that there was a member that was lost? Well, this might be it.
Oh shit. Well, but then that begs the question: why would they be doing what they're doing? That's the other thing. So, that's interesting.
No, but besides that, we learned quite a bit of different things, mainly about Hisui. First and foremost, she joined the Rangers at age 10, which is insane. Crazy. We saw what it took for Dee to become a Ranger and everybody else. So for her to do that at age 10 is kind of insane. We don't know how old Hisui is now, but given that she wears that uniform, I'm guessing she's like 16 to 17. That's just a guess for me. They talked about how she basically gave up her school life and everything that came with it when she joined the Rangers, and she didn't experience, any of the school stuff. So, like, the setting is important, not just because they want to fucking include a high school in a series, but it means something just because Hisui's never experienced school life. So maybe that might be a plot with, her experience in this, and maybe she gets assimilated into it because it's something she never experienced.
Yeah, and D's over here with Chidori, just like, dude, what the fuck are we going to do? How are we going to get out of here? These two are now taking over. I think it's going to come down between those two, is my guess.
Yeah, that very well could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing we learned, the executives are based on the 12 Zodiac animals. And apparently 7 of them have already been taken out.
They took them out, and Dee was very upset, but it's like, they took out my brethren. How dare they?
Well, it was more like, damn, you guys took out 7? You guys are that good?
Yeah. I underestimated these Rangers. They're not pushovers like I thought they were. And I love how Hisui she included both Angel and Dean in the conversation. I just want you to know that those things that the Rangers fight, they're all fakes. They're just stuff that were created. And Dee's like, no, really? I didn't know that. He's shocked. Bro, pretending to be shocked. I have no idea. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Isn't that number convenient though? 7 executives dead, 12 of them being there, 5 left.
5 left, 5 Rangers.
Yeah, 5 squads.
Wow. Yeah, how fitting.
Yep. But I think that is. Oh no! There was one more thing. So we saw that Shion and Arabe were recruited into the Red Squad, and Sosei gives them, or really specifically, Shion the job. He's like, go spy on the new green recruits. So seemingly Sosei is suspicious. Why do we want to do that though? Yeah. I mean, seemingly he's suspicious. I don't know if he's suspicious of D, Angel, both, but he's suspicious of they already brought that up, that they thought there was a traitor. So it makes sense that he would go to those, everybody who passed. So
I want you to go to the green side. Tell me how big her boobs are, the new one. What? You heard me. Go check them right now. Tell me what size. Okay. And don't come back until you tell me what size.
Yeah. I need to know. This is very important. I can only trust you with a job.
Yes, sir.
Bring back results.
Yes, I will. I will. What if she doesn't tell me her bra size?
Make her.
Okay, sounds good. A great first job, by the way. I'm happy to be part of the Red Crew. See ya.
But I think that's everything in the episode. So interesting.
Yep.
Interesting villain thus far, just with the whole illusion thing.
Yeah, I like stuff that delves into the if it resets, how can you fix it, and how can you beat it the second or third or however many time.
Mm-hmm.
Just a mind of just memory at that point. Stuff you didn't see before. It's like, what's happening?
Yeah, and it's difficult because the rule, there was one rule that they had where they're surprised, or no, it was something that got added. It was I forgot what it was. I want to say it was a rule when they were on a rooftop eating or something. But seemingly there's rules being added into this whole thing. So it's things are constricting for them because they already have Angel, who is now she's basically an NPC now. So, and then with rules being added, it's all right, they're restricting our movements more and more and more to the point where we're just going to become one of these students. So what do we do exactly? And then it's with the question of what's the plan? Why do this? Is what is the villain's plan in all this?
It's something lame. I just wanted you all to have a high school that you would remember. Boo!
I just wanted
lame.
To have fun.
All I ever wanted was friends. You ain't got no friends.
Oh. But that is it for Ranger Reject Season 2, Episode 2. It is now time to talk about quite possibly one of the worst anime in the universe, by the name of Future Diary. We're talking about episodes 4 and 5.
And they kind of go together, 4 and 5, really.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's wow. 4 was and then 5 comes around and comes at you like a sledgehammer to the face, where you're just like, whoa, this went from one thing to another. But Shall we start with 4? No, let's just go to 5. No, I'm kidding.
It's so amazing. When I first watched this show, I remember avidly hating Yuki. I hated everything about him. And I go into this now and I'm just like, damn, is Yuki one of the only sane characters in the series?
Right. Like, I feel like he got so much hate because it was like one of those guilty by association type things. Like, also kind of one of those, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? On the rewatch, it's like, I kind of understand.
Yeah, he tried to do some things. Like, he tried to call the cops on Yuno, and then Yuno's just like, who are you talking to?
Going?
I'm like,
what are you doing?
Like, oh my God. What can he do exactly?
Right.
She knows his every move.
Because I was thinking that same thing. Why didn't you go to the police? But then I agree. I was just like, if somebody knows what you're doing before you even do it, what could you do? That's literally impossible. And he even says so. He's like, I'm screwed. I am screwed.
And he's just scared to death. I mean, he saw the bodies in her house, and he even says as much within this episode. He's like, well, she did that
psycho bitch. As she made those face, Yuki, don't leave me. No, you're crazy. You fucking, the body, was that gonna be me? Huh?
Yeah. I mean, he had a point. His fear is so justified, and it's crazy how much hate, because he got hate from me, of course, but just in general, he is whiny. But I mean, who wouldn't be whiny in a situation like this? Is my question.
Right. I feel like everything's justified. Like, he got, like, I think he was up there for like one of the most hated characters in anime, like when this season came out, or this series, I mean. But I on the rewatch and looking back and everything, it's like, I wouldn't say he's really hated. Does he make some stupid choices? Sure, he's a horny teenager. I'm not going to fault him for that, because he's a horny teenager that never probably kissed a girl before. And you have a girl that is saying that they love you and they're giving you kisses and everything else. Of course you're going to be a horny squid boy, and you're just going to be like, yeah. But I feel like when it comes to the fears and just his overall just like justification and thoughts so far, I mean, maybe it gets worse later on, I can't remember, but as of right now, everything's justified. Get away from me, you crazy. I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to this person. It all makes sense.
And what we're seeing throughout the show is that he's constantly manipulated and betrayed, to the point where it's like he doesn't know where to go. He's kind of like a rat that's trapped and just has to dig his way somewhere. And that hole is, because it's the horrible analogy, but let's just get past that.
You gotta dig the hole into
I mean, it works because it is true, but like that's what's happening. It's like she keeps limiting his options to the point where it's like, I'm the only one you can trust. And you can see why he would think that, because it's like, okay, I tried to save this one girl, and we're jumping ahead. Fuck it, these episodes blend together. But
they blend together. Yeah,
he's like, I tried to trust this one girl to save her and keep my promise, and then she ends up being evil and betray, and she completely betrays me. And it's like, okay, I can kind of see why he would think that he needs, especially when shit hits the fan, because then she's, battle crazy and she's killing everything in sight. So it makes sense why he would rely on her and think that he needs her.
She loves him. She'll say she'll do anything to protect him. And she's really good with a hatchet. I mean, she's crazy. She's psycho. She probably murdered her own parents and buried their bodies in that room or whatever it is. But it's kind of, what's that old saying? The best of a worse situation, where you're just like, I I mean, this is shitty. This is shitty. But this is less shitty than this shitty. So you just go with the less shitty one, so to speak.
Yeah. And from his perspective, everything ends up right when he trusts at least in terms of him being alive, because he keeps getting dead ends left and right. But whenever is by his side doing what she does, she saves him out of the situation. So it makes sense again that he would trust her. It's just unfortunate circumstances that lead him to believe that, because for one, it seems that is orchestrating him having to be put in compromising positions for him to trust her like that, because she makes it kind of like a point. I mean, she even said this one episode, I think it was like at the end of episode 4, where she says, well, who are you going to choose, that whore or me?
Could you give me another hint?
Who's the whore?
Who's the whore again? She's just like, hey, no. I don't think she's a whore. Is that random person in the left a whore?
Oh my god.
Yeah, my god. But frickety frackety. This episode, well, let's just say these two, or maybe it was just 5. I don't fucking remember. Again, they're all gonna kind of like blend together. A lot more titties than I remember. I
remember the Udayu thing. Actually, I remember everything.
She was chained up and naked for what reason?
Fan service.
No reason, just exactly fan service. I am a hot maid girl with an eye patch. Shit, I got boobs, very pointy boobs. It's like, okay, that was the thing. And then episode 5, we have an actual scene where they just rip her clothes off, and she's like, "You better get your ass over here, Yuki, or she's gonna lose her virginity in a very forceful way."
I think the Tsubaki thing was over the top, but I do think it had a purpose just with her disposition towards the world, because she outright says, I want to become God so I can destroy the world. And it's like, well, considering her backstory, that makes sense. Her parents die in an accident, and there's some stuff cut out or just not said, but it seems that because they showed this one guy very briefly, and I think he was like the second in command of the cult. And it seems like he orchestrated the parents' death. And and then he made this like thing with the cult where he says everybody can cleanse themselves by R-wording Tsubaki. Yeah. So it's like, with given all of that,
Jesus Christ,
it's like, yeah. And then this girl is like, she's super young. I think she's like 14 or something like that. So, it would make sense that she would, have that thinking of me being very vindictive and bitter, and it showed itself in, like I said, her wanting to destroy the world, and then also with that scene with where she basically is trying to do to her what happened to her in her past.
And she's like, no, I'm saving myself for Yuki. And I'm just like, well, that's honorable of you in a way.
Oh man.
But Jesus, that's why I said I remember, like, when we got to episode 4 and 5, I was just like, it was weird before, but then it just got really just dark with just everything, fan servicey and dark, for sure. And can we talk a little bit about the 6th future diary user and how psychotic and almost pointless he is, to be honest?
Future Diary had 12 future diary users, and I feel like with this character in particular, they were like, I don't know what to do with him. Let's make him wacky. And I don't know what the fuck his purpose was, because he said he was a hero. Well, no, this is what his purpose was. He said he wanted to kill 6 Tsubaki. almost none of the actions he took would lead you to thinking that was his purpose, because he kidnaps Uryu to lure everybody else in, all the other Future Diary users in. I don't know exactly. And then this is what really blows my mind about this episode, because they say that he's the one that's mind controlling everybody, and then I'm like, okay, how? They don't explain that. You can't say it's his future diary. What does that mean?
He doesn't do anything that shows that maybe he's like controlling it with like a seance or any kind of like powers. Nothing. He's just a weirdo that just apparently he's blind, by the way. That had to have been stated.
Why did they throw that in?
I don't know. Maybe for the scene that happened at the tail end of his life.
Dies.
When he died. That's the only reason.
But then that's another question. Why did those other guys also have the same outfit and follow him into what could have been his death? I mean, what ended up being his death? Who were those people exactly?
Were they clones? Were they a part of him?
Where are they now?
They just said, well, he's dead, and they just started walking home. They didn't even like try to finish the fight. They were just like, oh shit, Red's dead.
His death wasn't even acknowledged by them.
They were like on autopilot. They just kept running. They're like in a fucking wall, just like not even. They're just stuck. It's like, that's an NPC over there. Just fucking kill it. My God, I hate this character. I mean, I love the voice actor who played him. He did a really good job. I'll give him that. But this character was pointless, because if you get rid of the fact that, like, everything that he did in this series, it would equate to nothing, because, you know, the people were already in a cult, so it didn't matter. Uryu lost her eye anyway, so she was going to have an eye patch anyway, and she could have ended somewhere else, and maybe with, you know, the police officer somehow. I don't know. And then he dies, and it does nothing. Anything and everything this guy did equated to nothing. No impact on the story whatsoever.
Yes. Axes him, and it's almost like when you see, you're just like, wait, that's it? You thinking maybe that was a different guy?
I thought maybe they was gonna, like, the other person was gonna like attack him because, like, you know, it's an extension of him. It's like, oh, that was a fake or something. That's what I was hoping for. That never happened. We didn't get that. We just got a lame ass death, and he probably said something stupid. I don't remember what he said, but it was just pointless. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, say what you will about the third user, which was basically just like a walking Jason Voorhees until he got killed. He was more interesting than old Arado asphyxiation blind dude who did nothing to the series. Nothing.
Yeah. The problem is that he just took up so much time for not doing anything. It doesn't feel like he's an adversary, or he's a real antagonist, just because he doesn't really interact with our main characters until the very end, where he just dies, and it's just like, all right, well, okay.
Right. And the way that they set it up, it made it seem like he was like a sadistic fuck, because he just dug out Uryu's eye and did all this other crazy stuff. I was thinking, oh, he's gonna last to the end. Nope. Very next episode dies. Just fucking stupid.
Yeah. He's like, I'm a hero of justice. I mean, I guess that was the point of we thought that he was the really evil guy, but in actuality, it was Tsubaki who was really like sadistic and very much the villain that we had to worry about. I guess that was the point.
Right. And yeah. Just pointless character. Just so bad.
Yeah. So Tsubaki, understand her bitterness and everything. Don't
Mhm.
agree with anything, like dead ass anything that she did in the series.
No.
But we gotta acknowledge how stupid she is for this. She goes to kiss Yuki for no reason. And that, of course, sets off Yuno. Which I'm thinking, okay,
You bitch.
you may not know the full extent of how crazy Yuno is, but you should know she is crazy because you literally saw her kill your cult members.
Yeah. Why would you poke the hornet's nest after you saw what happened?
Like, I guess she just really is that sadistic and wanted to take something from her as things have been taken from her. I don't know, but that was just really stupid on her end because she has like the saliva trail going on. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, that I always hate when animes do that. Like it's never sexy and it's never like sensual. It's always the disgusting, like they make out and then the little spit this long just trails
Slime
off and you're just
trail.
like, oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah. So yeah, she does that whole thing, and of course we had the scene where she's trying to get these guys to just gang R word.
Bang bang.
Yeah, and she
Mhm.
does that to lure out Yuki and essentially test his gangster, and he passes with flying colors.
Yep. He does. Oh, this is the best part though. He gets there all gangster and he goes, "Hey, look at the ball."
Well, okay, it's stupid, but they made it a point to point out Tsubaki's weakness in her future diary, which I have a criticism with that, but not the.
Oh, you talking about her
weakness specifically.
sight?
Well, no. Her scroll, the thing about her scroll is like it's so detailed, and it's like one of the best future diaries that we've seen thus far because it's basically like showing her everything. But the weakness of her scroll is that it shows her everything. So like even like shit that's really stupid and minor, she's getting to. So like that's why it worked, because he throws the ball up in the air and then her diary is recording all these people around her who are looking at the ball and it's like, this is fucking useless. And then Yuki just throws a dart because she's getting overloaded with useless information. So I think that makes sense and like that was creative. My problem is you didn't need the fucking future diary to apprehend Yuki. You have how many cult members that all you literally had to do is go get him. You don't have to do no future diary stuff. Why did she act like the future diary was a needed component in doing what she needed to do? Put the fucking scroll away so he can't do anything to it. Force him to kill you. And then just tell your cult members to get him. Just like you did,
Yeah, I honestly feel like that was a huge just I don't know, plot convenience, a weakness, a plot hole, whatever you want to call it, just to try to eliminate another future diary user. Really bad. Like if she was smart, like she says she was, I agree. She would have like crumpled it up, hid it, put it somewhere. I don't know, because in that point she doesn't need it. I agree. It's essentially, oh, you're here. Oh, you stupid idiot. Get him.
Yeah.
And then they'll overpower him because there's more people than him. And then you get what you want. Boom, boom. 2 diary users are gone. That's that. 3 technically. We want to be all critical.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense that they always make it a point of you had to beat the diary to beat the person. And I'm like, no. In this instance, the diary didn't matter. It didn't matter what Yuki's diary told him. Because he was saying like, oh, I don't have a bad ending. I'm like, okay, that's cool. Get him. What does that mean to me?
Right.
What you're, even if you know the future, if I tell my guys to get you and you're the only person left, what does knowing the future going to do? You can't, because you if you know the future and you hey, dodge left, dodge right, you're not going to be able to react in time. You're just not. With all the people that I have, it's not happening.
And on that flip phone that you ate, you're not going to do it.
I
Hold
have
on,
to
scroll. It's not a touch screen. Scroll. Yeah. Couple things about Tsubaki. One, she doesn't have good sight. I don't know why she couldn't have been prescribed glasses when she was young, because I love in the background in the her backstory, where they made it a thing where it's like, I was born with poor vision. They make glasses, right?
Boy, do I have an invention for you.
Like they made it seem like it was just this rare, incurable thing. I know people that are blind as a bat and they need glasses. It's not that big of a deal. And I just thought of that every time I saw it. She's like, I'm not that blind, but I could see, like at the very end of the episode with that stupid midget girl. But it just really was just like, just get glasses. It's not this weakness. I mean, okay, having glasses is a thing, and without them, they suck. But I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. If she was blind, that's a different thing. I would understand that. And then, of course, the whole ball thing. And then, the future diary gets poked again by the good old dart. And she like her last words were, "Where did you find it?" You didn't look that hard. It was underneath the fucking house.
But she couldn't find it because she's blind, EA.
But you have people that could look for you.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Stop thinking, please.
That's like one of those things where it's like, look for a ball that looks, and just show a picture like this, because it's near and dear to my heart and it's precious and it's my lost childhood, blah, 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 blah. Give it to me. Somebody finds it. Here you go. But no, she's just like, basically, Citizen Kane, Rosebud, where did you find that? It's look that hard.
Well, I will say I do like that scene just for them to cap off like the tragedy of her, because like she mentions like that ball was like the only solace she had and going, and everything that she went through, and it's like she finally sees it when it's the end of her life. So I do like that. It's just
everything in between.
Yes. And afterwards, because here's the thing, because Future Diary does this so much. We mentioned how they did it with the school. It's like the author does not think about what happens after all this epic shit that he does. All right, because we had a school bombings and all that, and it's kind of treated like, oh, well, that was a thing. Okay.
Yep.
Yuki kills their cult leader. Shouldn't they be dead?
I mean,
does the cult just go, fuck? Well, try to get a normal job.
I always wanted to take up painting. I've never been able to do it up until this point. Just stupid.
Mind you, it's so many things wrong. Mind you, she ordered these men to get in a line and gang our word, and they were about to do it. They already did it to Tsubaki, and now they're just like, what? I don't want to. I'm good. I just did it because she ordered me to do it.
Right. It's just like, I have a change of conscience now. Why? That man has a fucking dart. I mean, I know we have axes and other shit, and we outnumber him 50-1. But I don't want to touch that dart. You see what happened to our cult leader? She turned into a fucking spiral and got sucked up.
And then that's another thing. Is nobody going to question that?
Nope. Nope.
It's just like, yeah, that's no.
Yeah, it's just a regular Tuesday night. You know, it happened to my friend the other night. It's whatever. It's come on. You act as if you've never seen a guy get sucked up into a spiral before.
And here's the other thing. It's always something with this show. It's always more. Okay, she dies because of her diary being damaged, right? To what extent does a diary need to be damaged for it to break? Because her scroll got poked by a dart.
Yeah. Just a little pinprick. You could fucking drop that thing and scrape it against, I don't know, a rock, or you can put like a pen cushion, like hang it on the wall and put like a little pen in it. Right, and then you just die right then and there, all because you wanted to hang it up.
So that's my question. To what extent does a diary? Because all these diaries are different. Not everything is a phone like Yuki and Yuno's and Thirds. I mean, for the most part, everybody gets a fucking phone except for her. It's like, why does she get it? Because all he has to do is poke it. It's like, at least with the phones or whatever. I mean, the same thing can happen, obviously, but it's more durable. So at the very least, people can't kill you as easily. She has a fucking scroll. That's so easy to damage and get rid of. You can fucking wet the thing and then just literally just flick it and then it'll be broke.
Seriously. Poke a finger through it and then you're dead.
Yeah, I mean, like when the water sprinklers turned on, her scroll could have literally, like, that could have literally killed her.
Yeah, I know. It's a lot of inconceivable, inconvenient, just plot devices, just everything not being considered when it comes to, like, how would a person react? How would a cult react? How would people react after insert bombing, insert gang R, insert whatever? Just, yeah, there's just no normalcy to any of it. It's just like, it's another fucking day for them.
It's just like the story points are thought of to a certain extent. And it's like, all right, we go here from here to here. But there's no real thought of the repercussions of what happened. You can't have a school bombing and then there's no real transition from one scene to another, because that's such a big event. Like, imagine in Dragon Ball Z, the fucking whole planet gets destroyed, and then the next thing we see from any of the Z Fighters is them, I don't know, trained in the hyperbolic chamber. It's like, wait, is nobody going to react to what the fuck just happened?
Right. Even in Dragon Ball, they had consequences. Again, they would always get wished back, but it's still one of those, if something happened, it was just, oh, I'll never forgive them for doing that, or ooh, that pains me. There's sadness and just repercussions of it, absolutely. But this series, I feel like the mangaka thinks of, okay, what is the most crazy and most fucked up thing we can do to make shocking stuff happen? Mm-hmm. And they have those ideas, and they're there. They work when, so to speak, in that moment. But I agree. It's like they don't think of the repercussions or how regular people would kind of like look at it and go, is the news going to report on this? Nah, fuck it. Let's just go to a date with roller coasters. Shit.
You watched this dubbed, right?
Yes.
Do you remember the one scene where Mine is tied up and then 12th reveals himself to be a crazy Power Ranger guy? And she says the line, wow, he's batshit crazy. And I went,
what was your first clue?
This is no. I was like, this is a comedy sketch. You just bombed a school 2 episodes ago. Right. What are you talking about?
But he's crazy because he chokes himself and he goes, I'm a Power Ranger.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I think they're starting to try to mute her personality to where they, like, because when we saw her, she was crazy, batshit, Harley Quinn type character, and now it's kind of like, I'm out there, I'm outrageous, but I'm not that great. Like, she even goes like, she dick rides and is like, oh, you
Mhm.
don't realize that you got someone really crazy on your side. And I'm like,
Why are you her biggest fan?
you're the crazy one. First and foremost, you're that crazy person. And why are you gassing up Yuno? The one who took your eye was Yuki. Doesn't even make sense. Yuno's not the one that you had to worry about.
It's almost like she loses an eye and she just becomes a normal fucking person after that. Like the craziness was just in her left eye, and then just, oh, what the fuck? I can see clearly now. That eye had me fucked up.
Oh my god. Yes.
Yeah.
It's like little things like that where I'm like, okay, I'm starting to notice that you're trying to do something different with her character, because she started to distance herself from the crazy shit that she pulled off, because the last part of the episode, she's free. And it's like, wait, what? Because you're like, okay, Kurisu's an officer, and he had her, the last time we seen him together, he handcuffed her. It's like, okay, cool. And he's the one who's been wanting to capture her this entire time. And then the next time we see her, she's free. And it's like, wait, what?
And it was because he wanted to do a favor or something.
Yeah, so he makes a deal or something with her. But my whole thing is like, okay, you cared about capturing her, not just to win the game, but because she's crazy. You have some morals, it seems.
Yeah.
You were prepared to like shoot Yuki to save the whole school, because you realize, like, if I had to choose, I'm going to choose all the other kids. So it seems like you got some type of morals to you, and then you just let her free, considering all the death she caused.
It makes no sense. Like, I feel like these characters are written a certain way, but then when the plot needs to change, they're written a completely different way, just to let stuff happen for no reason.
Or things are just not thought out that way. Well, where it's like, yeah, you had her act this way, and now it seems like, oh, I don't know, maybe you just like really liked her design. I was like, oh, I want to keep this character around, or I want to do something different with her. But you're not making the right steps to make her like that. Like,
right.
There's no lesson learned. I mean, not that there could be a real transition into making her something different, considering what she was doing.
What was her lesson learned? Oh, my eye that I already fucking lost got ripped out, and I appreciate clothes now.
Yeah. I don't know. But
I don't know either.
But yeah, Kurisu makes a deal with her that we are not aware of, and he just lets a mass murderer free for whatever reason.
Mass murderer free. Yeah, that he was hell bent on stopping episode 2.
Also, killed people, and
lots of people.
Nobody's talking about it.
Nope.
That doesn't matter.
Nope, doesn't matter. One of the funniest shit that happened in this episode, other than a bunch, was when I think it was after she killed 12. She is like tired or whatever. She was just like, "Run, Yuki!" She pushes him off, and he falls 2 feet. He's like on this ledge thing. I was thinking, I'm not even kidding. I thought when she pushed him, he was gonna like fall into this giant river and try to swim to safety. No, he fell 2 feet and then like rolled underneath. And they're like, "Where did he go?"
Oh my god!
Like some video game NPC, just like, "Who's that? Where is he?"
He broke my line of sight. Fuck.
Seriously, I can't find him anymore. He just fell 2 feet. He went down there. Don't you think maybe look down there? And these people are just shining their lights, not even like looking underneath shit. Well, they're just like, which way did he go?
Now you see why they couldn't find the ball. They couldn't look that far.
You're right. They don't know how to get down to the ground, get low, and go, oh shit, okay, there it is.
Oh my God.
Just all... I just saw that and was just like, you said go save yourself, and you pushed the man, and he fell 2 feet. This is fucking stupid.
And they don't really explain what was going on with if she was sick or something.
Right.
Yuki
Was
tries.
she tired?
Yuki says that she's exhausted, and I'm like, okay. The problem with that whole thing is that you literally showed her running around school, tripping off proximity mines, and then proceeding to jump down from a whatever story building and continue to run through the field trying to kill Mine or Uryu. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I put that. It just seems very convenient as always.
She had her lunch that day, Satsuki.
Oh,
the other day,
the school lunch.
Yeah. She didn't have her lunch when she were at the cult when they were at the shrine. Fucking A, man.
But the Stockholm syndrome has set in. Yuki's in a car with Yuno and
gives her a big old kiss.
Yeah, he's thinking about all the crazy moments and he's like, yeah, this seems like a bad idea. But he's like, fuck it. And then he kisses her. Which obviously not a good decision. But
no.
I mean,
what else can you do? I mean, I guess you don't have to be sexually attracted to this person. But again, I look at it as he's a horny high schooler. He's a horny teenager. And he has a girl that likes him uncontrollably. And although that's not healthy, that's one of those things like, well, free kiss. I could steal some free kisses from this girl, I guess.
It's also just a situation that he's thrust in. I think the show has been doing a good job of him pushing her away and being pulled back into being in a relationship because of the circumstances given to him, of him being in a literal life or death situation and her being the one that ultimately takes him out of that situation every single time. So I could understand his reliance and even like his ignorance when it comes to her, because there's so many red flags. They're screaming at him basically, but everything seems to work out in the end when he chooses her. So although it's foolish, although I wouldn't do it, I mean, I've never been put in a situation like this also. So, but I think one good thing that the show has been doing is showing us the relationship of Yuki and Yuno. I actually just think that in general has been good. I think that's the one thing that they can do good.
Right. That's really the only thing that's like, that makes sense, so to speak. Everything else is either a plot convenience or is just there for shock and awe, or doesn't even make sense at all. It's just there just to make you scratch your head. And with these two episodes, they even have the after credits scenes where you see how 12 got thrown into the mix with, they did a different animation style. They did crappy stop motion or whatever, but still didn't make me interested in the character. And then they did the how they introduced Tsubaki into it, where it wasn't even like that interesting. It was just, she's blind, she sees a fuzzy figure and goes, I could see you. She's just watching TV and eating snacks and all this other dumb shit. And I'm just lame. Like, it was lame. I hate. It's fine if it's done right and if it's funny, but it wasn't even funny. It's just lazy.
Yeah, like what they did with Third, like that was interesting. Him breaking him being paranoid of the future diary, breaking it.
That was funny. That was funny.
Yeah, it's also interesting. Like, because you would think that they would use those moments to further explain some shit. Like, remember that one episode where Murmur tried to explain something that was going on with how Mine knew this, even though it didn't make no fucking sense.
It made no sense, but she tried to explain it.
Yeah, at least that was something, complimentary to the story. With what you show at the end credits with Tsubaki, that was stupid. That didn't do anything.
No.
It just showed us the extent of her blindness, I guess.
We already knew she was blind. And I was already upset and said, get glasses.
Well, yeah, but it showed us, like, very clearly how much it was, which it wasn't, like, crazy. She was just blurry.
Hell, get LASIK. get something. It's not that end all be all that it used to be back in the, I don't know, medieval days or something.
Well, I wanna I want to point this out. I want to make a point of doing this every time there's new Future Diary users, because I want everything to be clear, right? Because this was a choice. The participants in this game was a choice from Deus Ex Machina. So I just want to point out the people that he chose to participate in a death game.
All right, let's hear it.
A loner loser dart boy, a yandere, a serial killer, police, a half-blind cult leader, a crazy terrorist, and some Power Rangers wannabe fake justice also blind man
that can also control people with his powers.
How he does that, we don't know. But these are so far the candidates to being God.
Yeah, no, I mean that sounds like a logical choice.
What?
It makes no sense. Like the only one out of those 7 is the police officer. He seems to have a moral conscience. Yeah, let him be God.
What I just want to know what is the criteria exactly? Because this isn't Fate where it's like, okay, the Holy Grail chooses you or something like that. Mm-hmm. He's making these choices to pick these people, and it's one of those things. You can't even use it. You can't even use the excuse of like, oh, he doesn't really know them like that. He's a god. He would know humans. Murmur literally goes to these people and gets a feel for their character.
Yeah, so it's like she has an interview.
Yeah, basically. So it's like who you're choosing. Why exactly have they been chosen? What is the thought process and who's going to be the new god? What direction are you trying to take the world? Is it trying to be benevolent, or are you trying to get someone who's like apathetic or something, where it's like or apathetic, where it's like they can judge everything objectively? What exactly is the goal? Do you not give a fuck?
I mean, I guess I feel like he knows. It's almost like it's his retirement. He knows he's got a couple weeks left in the office, and he's just completely checked out. So he's just waiting for somebody to like take over so that he can say, "Here, there it is. Have fun," and then just leave.
Oh my god! I mean, I guess it's just. When you think
poor candidates,
yeah, that's the thing. When you think back to the literal initial plot of this show, it further makes you go, wait, why? Because again, this wasn't like a random thing that just befell these people. Because when you use fate or anything, it's fate. You don't have to explain it.
Right.
What can you really say? This person was chosen. You can question why they were chosen, but ultimately, that's not a question you had to answer. I'm going to ask
the name. Yeah, fate.
Yeah, it's just destiny. But I'm going to question when a entity is making a conscious decision and choosing some of the worst people to become the next god.
Yeah, I got nothing. It makes no sense.
The next 2 episodes are about to be really bad, by the way.
Oh my god. But I think I remember. But what I was going to say is maybe if this is a candidacy to become, I don't know, like a harbinger of death or some kind of like demigod that is like there for like killing people or like sorrow and misery, something like that. To be an eternal god where you're basically just, controlling the whole existence in the plane of the universe. I wouldn't put my trust in, and everything is just focused internally in this little tiny city in Japan. When you really think of it in the whole cosmic sort of thing.
Yeah. Japan's the only country that matters.
Yeah, it's Japan. Don't give it to America. Fuck it up. France. Europe, whatever. Russia, Japan.
Oh,
Yeah, that would have been more interesting if you had people from all over the world trying to fight for this. You have like a Russian, an American,
yeah.
someone from Germany. That'd be interesting.
Oh, and also, this show just does what. Remember when? Remember when the identities of these people were kept hidden for a reason? It's like, oh, you have to find these guys.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And in every episode we find out, we find a new user, and they immediately tell someone that they can tell the future.
Subtlety is not their strong suit. It's literally just, hi. Oh, by the way, I'm 12. Naked girl with boobs.
Yeah.
He's crazy. I mean, I know I'm crazy, but he's insane. Look at him choking himself.
He's the only one that has some mystery he kept his diary hidden for a bit, because we didn't actually technically we did see it, but we didn't know it was a future diary until practically this episode. So
and his future diary in itself is actually kind of neat. It's just a little recorder that plays, and I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Then we killed the people who had 2 unique diaries. It's only the cell phone users left again.
Right. The flip phones are the only ones that are left. I'm ready for the next ones where it's like I don't know, like a can and string, where it's just like, tell me what's going on. You listen on the other end. Oh shit! Oh, they're coming.
Oh my god. Yeah, man. What can I say? Anybody watching this, you are getting your money's worth.
I will admit this. I am not bored. I am not bored when I watch this. And if maybe that's a reason to keep watching, I'd say go for it. But, you're not bored when you watch this series. Are you entertained? I don't know. That's up to you. It's more of you don't have to sit through dialogue. Like, things just happen.
Yeah.
And on the screen, and you're like,
what?
That just happened. That just happened.
Yeah. I mean, the worst thing you can be is boring. So, I mean, I guess it avoids that sin, but it replaces it for things being contrived, convoluted, and downright trash.
Agreed.
But that is it for all the shows that we're covering. Next week we'll be talking about Future Diary episodes 6 and 7.
Yes. Yeah, that sounds right. Let me just double check really quick. Yep, 6 and 7. We're getting into the viewer questions portion. We only have one from Trayvon. What's your favorite anime series so far this season? Well, I think we may have already talked about it, but I can go ahead and answer it myself. I think Lazarus has been fun so far, just because of the intrigue and what's going on, the uncertainty and whatnot. That's so far. It could change in a month from now.
Thus far, my favorite is Rock is a Lady's Modesty.
Nice.
I've been enjoying pretty much every aspect of it. The characters, the music, the story writing with it. I do think by the end of it, Ranger Reject is going to be my favorite, just because I know what it's going to cover, and if it does it well, it's going to be definitely a big highlight for this season. But I mean, Lazarus has that potential too. So, and Apocalypse Hotel has been pretty funny. So,
definitely funny.
Yeah, I think we're in good hands with the anime that we're covering. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I'd say Rock is Lady's Modesty.
All right. And that was the only question that we had tonight. But Yeah, I think that just about wraps up this show in a nice, neat little package.
Show. Okay, so guys, Patreon is in the chat. Follow us on Blue Sky, make some biscuits with us and whatnot. Know when we're going to go live. If you're not on YouTube, you have another way of seeing when we're going to be live. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week, and we'll do it again. Peace and love. Satsuki, EA.
Later. Oh,
out.
yes. Later.